All right, y'all. Welcome to the Sports Debaters Podcast Network presents NFL Talk. We usually do it on Sundays, but today we had to do it Saturday for the divisional round of the playoffs. Of course, I got my two co-hosts with me, Kayla Red and Justin Jackson. How y'all doing today, fellas?
Doing
Good,
good, man.
good.
All right, man. Yeah, like I said, I went to bed. I actually went to bed early last night because I wanted to get up early because I wanted to do the game thread. I wanted to talk my little noise before the podcast, make sure that was all taken care of.
But
But
hold
we're
on,
gonna jump.
pause. But pause. So then you mean to tell me that football trumps basketball today?
Oh yeah, playoff football gonna trump playoff basketball for the reason that is it's one and done. Like
It's a lot
it's
more
no,
urgent.
yeah,
You hear that, Hunt Jordan? You
it's
hear that,
no.
Hunt Jordan? Football trumping your little basketball podcast today. Oh yeah. Oh
You know that man not watching bro. It's football.
yeah.
What's up, CA? CA holding it down. He watching the podcast. But hey, we're gonna jump right into it. Let's talk about the first game. The Bengals at Tennessee. Derrick Henry was activated today. Justin, what's your thoughts on that game, Justin?
Um, I don't know how dominant he can be. He's got 5 screws in his foot, a metal plates in his foot, and a metal plates in his shoe. So I ain't never heard of somebody that ran fast with plates everywhere. So if him and Mixon equal, that means it comes down to Tannehill or Joe Burrow. And I've never picked Ryan Tannehill to do anything successfully playing quarterback. So I got the Bengals, bro. They look like it's the weirdest thing watching them post game. They look like they don't care. Like, and it's almost a scary thing for a team to look like we don't care. Like, yeah, they swept the Steelers, so they swept the Ravens, so they beat the Raiders. So, like, it's almost like they know what they're going for, so they don't have the usual like, oh, we're just happy to be here kind of excitement that some teams get when they are young and trying to fight through. They just keep looking like so. And then Jamar Chase is playing confident as I don't know who guarding him on Tennessee's roster. I mean, they got no chance at that. If the Bengals O line doesn't get destroyed, the Bengals might score 40. Because the Titans don't have a secondary. They kind of depended on the fact that they can blitz and get home on the pass rush. So if the Bengals O line don't get torched, Tannehill gonna have to get to 35, 40 to win. And I don't see that happening. So I got the Bengals.
Kayla, what's your thoughts about the game, Bengals and Titans? Do you think Derrick Henry will make a huge impact?
Um, I think it's too soon for him to actually come back. And like I just said, like he has 5 screws in place up in his foot. Like man, he I mean like he never really had like a full he never had an extended period of time to actually get like used to it and stuff like that. Now then, like the weather there in like in Tennessee, like it will be weirdly lukewarm today because in most cases around like this time it is in the lower 30s and stuff like that. So like he may be able to actually stand a chance, like like running wise and everything. But like I'm concerned about his workload and everything. Like like how much will they be more dependent on him and everything. How much can like Tony Hill and Brown and Jones do in the passing game? Like how can he make things easier on Derrick Henry? So like that way they don't have to depend on him so much. Now that like their pass defense compared to last year, well, hold on. Their pass rush compared to last year Tennessee was like dead ranked last. The boys probably had about like 6 sacks last year. This year they are in I want to say the top like 15 or so. Jeffrey Simmons is a problem. Bud Dupree is a problem. You got to find ways to actually keep Joe Burrow up, so that now when he could pass it off Chase Higgins' boy, Uzuma, and like whoever else. I think like running wise, Joe Mixon and Henry, they'll probably like stalemate out. Like, I think that this will be a game to actually come down to throwing and stuff like that. The Bengals offense is too high power, and the Titans pass defense is like ranked like 28th and lower. So I don't really see anybody slowing down Burrow and that dynamic passing offense. I got the Bengals today, and the Bengals will probably face the Bills.
Hey Justin, it's funny that you said that because I want to get into two. You said the Bengals playing like they have no worries or whatever. So would you agree the Bengals quarterback or coach they under the least amount of pressure out of the teams that's left in the playoffs? The
Oh,
Bengals
absolutely.
called Joe
Oh,
Burrow and
absolutely. That's not even a kind of a debate. Them boys playing with forget house money. They went and got handed the keys to the safe and was like, if you use it, cool. If you don't, cool. Like they they have absolutely no worries right now.
They got that monopoly money.
That money not even kind of real. Because think about it, it's the Bengals. I mean, preseason, I didn't have them making the playoffs. I had them like 6 wins, and they messed around and won the division. So now, and then you took your first playoff game, you beat the Raiders. Now you go to the number one seed on the road. The Titans cheating, changing their ticket policies to keep Bengals fans out, all kind of stuff. Um, yeah, I mean, if they win, amazing. If they lose, amazing. Like at this point, they can't stress out. And what you stress out for? Overachieving. I mean, kudos to them. They playing. They got the least amount of pressure out of anybody.
all right, so would you say who would you say? Because I think everybody gonna say the same thing for the quarterback. I'm gonna ask anyway. What quarterback has the most pressure in this playoffs, and what coach has the most pressure in this playoffs? I'm gonna start with you first, CA.
Oh, you said well, quarterback has the most pressure in the playoffs. Hmm.
What quarterback has the most pressure in the playoffs?
Um, mm, mm, mm. I would say, I would say that the dude jersey wearing right now. I think he's come really close a lot of times, but this to me this year he got to get it done, man. It's too many times where he's come a bit short. I think it's the year to get it done. I mean, he's so far, Packers have been the best team in the league so far, unfortunately. But that's what it looked like so far. So now they just got to get it done. Simple as that.
And what coach would you say is the most is under the most pressure during these playoffs?
Trying to think of all teams left. Um, hmm. um,
It's kind
I
of
have to
hard.
say, I have to say just off the top of my head, I just maybe just a name. I would say, I mean, I would say maybe Kyle Shanahan because I think he's been too close too many times and he's just messed it up so many times, just close. And but I wouldn't say, but nobody really expecting his team to win at the same time. But I would say if his team gets far, he's going to be under a lot of pressure because he's been so close and just haven't got it done.
All right, Justin, I'm gonna come your way. What quarterback you think is under the most pressure under in these playoffs?
The quarterback I think under the most pressure in these playoffs is Jared Goff. No, I'm kidding. Um, the quarterback I think under the most pressure is Patrick Mahomes. Because Patrick Mahomes he reminds me of like John Jones in UFC or like Ronda in UFC. How like the fear of them is almost higher than their ability. But once that fear falls, it kind of drops a little bit. Like the mystique falls and the fear falls, and then they're beatable. Because 2 years ago, Mahomes look at this generational talent. We've never seen anything like him. Oh my God, he might win 8 Super Bowls. Now, every week you was hearing, well, Justin Herbert's just as good as Mahomes. Josh Allen's just talented as Mahomes. Look at Aaron Rodgers. Look what he's doing. And oh boy, with the Bengals, he don't have their level of talent, but he's producing just as well. Look at him. So his mystique and his platform of being the absolute undisputed best guy under 27 is on the line. He loses to Josh Allen, his mystique is gone. He lost Josh Allen twice in the same year, Justin Herbert, and your boy with the Bengals, all in the same season. So the mystique of the Chiefs knockout punch would be out of there.
Gotcha. Now, who you think is the coach? What coach is under the most pressure?
The Bills offensive coordinator, Brian Dable.
Gotcha.
Because he still hasn't figured out this Josh Allen up down nonsense. Like Josh Allen is the world's greatest quarterback, and then he's playing in the XFL the next day. Like I don't understand what that's about, but he's doing a lot of interviews. Brian, forget his last name. But Brian is doing a lot of interviews around the league. He's done Giants. He's done Broncos, I believe. He's talked to the Jaguars. Pretty much everybody got an opening has talked to Brian. So if you were to go out and lay an egg against the Chiefs without the world's greatest defense on the other side, that would probably do him a number. So professionally, the Bill offensive coordinator.
Gotcha. Caleb, I'm gonna come to you. What quarterback you think is under the most pressure in the playoffs?
Quarterback under the most pressure in these playoffs. Of course, the obvious answer is Rodgers, because like everything that he's done this past off season, and then I'm pretty sure that CA he already touched on that. So like I'm not about to even go that route. The second most quarterback under the most pressure in these playoffs, I'll probably have to say Matthew Stafford.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's what I should have
Um,
said. That's a good one.
Matthew Stafford, like throughout his whole time up in Detroit, he probably made it to the playoffs about like 3-4 times, if that. And like every single time, except for that Cowboys game, um, he underperformed and everything. Then you get traded away, and you are in like the most like God given blessed given team pretty much assembled. Like that they are the fucking Avengers now. Like, you have like all these people, whatever, right? And at times Matthew Stafford is still looking like his Detroit Lions self and everything. Like that. I remember calling it early on in the season, like I was like, yeah, man, Stafford has, like he has ways of like showing up, and then he has other ways of like faltering off and everything. But it's like Stafford's thing is that he always had one guy to actually throw it to, a terrible offensive line, and no running back. I mean, like you had Keelan Williams at one point, whatever. But I mean, like Keelan Williams was pretty much, man. But now you have Sony back, and then you have Cam Akers back, who was looking like pretty damn good, bro. To say that you had an Achilles injury, and then you come back 7 months later, like that, you never even missed a beat. But the legend of a Matthew Stafford, like that, he already has the accolades to at least be considered as a Hall of Fame quarterback. But now, whenever that you have another big game, you already beat Tampa Bay once. But the question is, can you do it again? Like when it really matters. If that Stafford can knock off Brady and then Rodgers, or Brady, well, if that he can knock off Brady, like I think that people may respect Stafford more.
I would have said Matthew Stafford last week because he never won a playoff game, but
Than the Cardinals, no.
yeah, exactly. Like they was expected to win that game. Like I would have said last week. This week, even though they did beat the Buccaneers early in the season, uh, I don't know. I think if he'll lose to Tom Brady, I don't think people gonna really get on him like they would have got on him if he would have lost last week. That's
true.
just my humble opinion.
If he have a bad game, I think it's very much possible. But you have Tampa Bay defense that is back like ramped up again. Although that they did play the Eagles too, so like that's those those past two games were pretty much like like you can't really measure because like the Phillies defense, like the Bucs just ran straight through them boys, and the Cardinals defense have been like faltering off since after the Packers beat them, and they never been the same. So
All right, I want to welcome Tampa Bay Bucks super fan John Rich to the podcast.
what
What's
up,
up?
bro?
What's up?
That's good, bro.
I'm gonna come with you to the next question. What quarterback you think is under the most pressure in the playoffs?
Quarterback under the most pressure, man. Kind of similar to what y'all was saying. I think last week it was Stafford. I think since he got that first win under his belt, I don't think it's Stafford this week. I don't think people hold it against you when you lose to a Tom Brady led team. People kind of let it go. Quarterback, I would think that's under the most pressure that's left. I'd probably say Josh Allen. He's the only quarterback that's really in there who's been there long enough. In my opinion, he ain't been there long enough, but long enough because he's been there longer than Burrow. That still hasn't done much yet. Everybody was on Mahomes' case early in the season, but I mean, he's turned that around. The game he had last week was crazy. It's the same thing for Allen. Crazy game last week, but I think the Bills have gotten better and they've been good for a minute now. And now I think people are like, all right, Bills, let's see. Y'all a team that can really go somewhere, or y'all just one of those teams that can always be good but never good enough. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of unfair to him because he's still real early in his career. But I think just the other quarterbacks that are left have, outside of Stafford, has done more already, and they don't really have much to prove. I mean, we know Tom Brady don't have nothing to prove. He playing with house money at this point. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. Everybody knows what Aaron Rodgers is. So nobody's really putting pressure on him for this game against the 49ers because nobody expects him to lose to the 49ers. So it's nothing to prove in this game now, and nobody really thinks 49ers has a chance of beating Green Bay. But I think if something were to happen or where they were to lose, I think it would look bad. It would probably be the worst loss that could happen this round. But nobody is expecting it. I don't think the pressure is there for Jimmy G. Nobody expects nothing from him. So it's kind of like Allen is the only quarterback that has expectations that hasn't done anything with those expectations yet. You know what I'm saying? If Burrow was deep in his career, then you can say Burrow, but I think that Cincinnati just happy they still in the playoffs at this point. It's been a long time since they've been there, so it's like, hey, whatever you do from here is better than anything we had.
Yeah, they definitely overperforming. I didn't expect them to get to the playoffs this early. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
The Bengals hit fast.
Yeah, they definitely hit fast. And without addressing the problems people thought they had. You know what I'm saying? They still got.
They still got a problem.
Yeah.
They guards are terrible.
So it's like what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? But I think for the quarterbacks that are left, Josh Allen is definitely the one that probably has the most pressure this round.
But can pressure be defined in different categories? And what I mean by that is, like, for example, Jimmy G. You said Jimmy G don't have any pressure going into the game, but you got to think about it. Jimmy G, this might be his last game in San Francisco. What if he blow it? Like,
It's going to be.
Is It's gonna be
This
his
this
last
this is
straw.
it.
Yeah,
Well,
hey,
I'm saying
He got
it
he
could
got
be
he
him
can
his
have a
last
good
last
3
game.
game.
games left.
He can have a good game. If they lose, that's a wrap. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but what if he have a real bad game and they lose? Like, what does it look like for next year for him? Like,
I
if you
mean,
New Orleans, would you go after Jimmy G after he just had a bad playoff
he
game?
better than Jared Goff.
I
And I
think
mean,
yeah, I'm about to say I think the market for Jimmy G is a team that's desperate for a quarterback,
Gotcha.
and that's really it. You know,
if Jameis Winston's healthy,
Nah.
if Jameis
I,
Winston's healthy,
oh no,
they
yeah,
don't
I
have
don't,
I
nearly.
don't
I don't
want
think
him. I
I
don't
don't
want
think
Jimmy
the Saints.
Garoppolo. Nah.
Nah, I don't think the Saints. I don't think the Saints go for him. I don't think the Saints go for him.
You got Jared
49
Goff,
super
bro.
fans, Spencer say
Nah,
he a
dude.
Texan if he sucks today.
Nah,
I
bro, the
feel
Texans in
like
love
that
with Mills.
Jimmy G, he could go to like another playoff ready team, but like everything else gotta be set up for him. If not, then like he could go to the, let's say, the Broncos, whatever. Like
He can
like
go
the
to the
Broncos started off
Packers
pretty.
after Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers leaves and goes to
Okay,
the
how
Broncos.
about this? Do you think Mike Tomlin takes a chance on him?
Oh God, no,
Okay.
You never know.
no,
I don't
no,
know. I don't know. Nah,
I mean, does he trust any of those quarterbacks over there right now?
I
no.
would say
But I
that
mean, he probably
nothing
drafts Kenny Pickett, who's
genuine.
been in his building for the last 4 years.
That's true.
I think Mike Tomlin hoped that we lose today so he could make a move at Aaron Rodgers. That's what I
Of course,
think.
and they've been openly flirting with each other. It-
What's up, SB?
What's up, SB?
What's good? What's good, y'all? What's going on?
What's going on, man? What quarterback you think is under the most pressure in the playoffs right now?
Under the most pressure right now, it has to be if it ain't like Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes. I wouldn't say Tom Brady because it's team hurt. Maybe Patrick Mahomes. But if I had to really put a number on it, it got to be Matthew Stafford because the Rams made all these moves to be a championship caliber team. You get Odell mid-season, you get Von Miller mid-season, you trade all your picks to go get Stafford because you said the only problem we had was a quarterback. So this team did all the moves to make a championship-ready team. And if you don't get it done now, and with the statement being over your head that you are a good quarterback, but you were just in Detroit. So, yeah, I'm going to go Matthew Stafford over any quarterback. What happened to the Chargers? We lost. That's it.
Hey, the reasoning you just gave you, my answer for coach would have been Sean McVay. Caleb, I gotta get your answer for coach, but the reason that you just gave me, the coach under the most pressure in the playoffs, my answer would be Sean McVay for
Yep.
everything that you just said about
Stafford.
the picks and everything about Stafford. So my answer for coach would actually be Sean McVay. Caleb, I'm gonna come back to you. What coach is under the most pressure?
Well, although that they are knocked out now, Mike McCarthy is still under pressure. Like, man, Jerry Jones, hey,
what a
man,
hell
Jerry
of a
Jones
drive by.
ain't saying nothing. Jerry Jones about to let his ass go. But no, but in all seriousness, I think the other coach that is under pressure is Sean McVay also. Like, you made all the moves and everything. Y'all started off hot, and then y'all kind of faltered off, with which is where that Stafford did kind of falter off, but if that Stafford kind of got his groove back with him. So I feel that if the Rams don't win, because like they were the team that was really like Super Bowl or bust more than the Packers or the Bucs or the Chiefs or like anybody else. They made the most moves since this past offseason and during the season.
I
Gotcha.
mean,
Hey, so go
this
ahead,
man,
Justin.
Sean McVay, he made that Stafford trade in a hot tub on vacation. He
Right.
different. I don't know if he under any pressure.
Can you blame him though? Can you blame him though?
I mean, I would have. They would have
You
called
like
me and
Jared
said, "Man,
Goff?
Stafford for who?" Oh, you could have had him and a couple other people.
I would have tried to trade Jared Goff right out, even though they made it to the Super Bowl that year. I would have been on the phone trying to trade Jared Goff right then.
I
Because
heard
his stock
rumors
was
that they
up
were
there.
trying to trade Jared Goff after that.
Jared Goof.
Jared Trash.
All right, so Justin, Caleb, did we pick the Bengals in the Titans game? Y'all
I
both picked the
picked
Bengals.
it. I got the Bengals. Yeah.
I got
I
Bengals
didn't
too.
pick it yet. I didn't pick it yet. I got the Bengals up.
All right, Coach, what's up, Coach?
It's a
What up,
party.
Coach?
Good with it.
It's a party.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you go.
Coach,
What's up, man?
what quarterback is under the most pressure in the playoffs right now?
Oh man, bro, everybody really got something to prove. I said it'd probably be a tie between Jimmy Garoppolo because he's probably playing for his job. Here, if he gets embarrassed, he probably is no longer a San Francisco 49er. If he wins, they probably keep him around a little longer and trade Trey Lance. I'm gonna go a little off schedule here. It's probably Aaron Rodgers. As great as Aaron Rodgers is, he has one Super Bowl notch on his belt. People are when you talk about the greatest of all times, you know you got Tom Brady sitting over there with a baker's dozen and some when it comes to rings. You have fucking Ben Roethlisberger got two of them bitches. Eli Manning has two of them bitches. You know what I'm saying? And as great as Aaron Rodgers is, he's sitting there with Uno. This is the time. I mean, again, there is no super dominant team as we always see. The Chiefs are clicking, but they're not that dominant force. We don't have a Patriots team that's a juggernaut. Tampa Bay is kind of banged up. We don't have that super just team that's just like everybody's on guard for. So this now than ever is the time where Aaron Rodgers should assert himself as, yes, I am a top 5 quarterback of all time, and this would be the perfect time for him to notch that second title on his belt.
That's what I said.
But you know, he's scared of them NFC Championship games. He cursed.
And that's the thing. Everybody has that running joke of he gets to the NFC Championship game and he just falters. Everybody has that same joke, and that's people's knock on Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you can't say anything about his talent. You can't say anything about his football IQ. You can't say anything about him as far as throwing the football. The only knock on Aaron Rodgers is in the biggest moments when he gets to those NFC
He
championships,
pissed down his leg.
he has those subpar performances. And again, I'm not gonna say piss down his legs because there's been numerous times we watch Aaron Rodgers drive his team right down there, punch that bitch in, and then the defense just says they're not
Our
playing
special
the
team.
series and give
Our
up a
special teams,
score
boy.
and they lose. You know what I'm saying? On special teams. So I can't
Just
just put
this,
it all on Aaron Rodgers. But at the end of the day, NFL head coaches and quarterbacks are the only person that gets a record. I've never seen a win-loss record for a running back or a defense. It's always by the head coach and the quarterback. And whether Aaron Rodgers has a perfect game and his defense gives it up, he still gets that L. So I think this is the year for him to try to take that monkey off his back.
Hey, I heard Shannon Sharp. I heard Shannon Sharp said this, and I went and look it up just to verify. Aaron Rodgers never had a playoff game where they scored under 20 points, but Tom Brady has won a Super Bowl scoring 13 points.
You are absolutely right. 13-3. Thank you, Jared Goff. Appreciate it.
Like,
I got that trophy in my trophy case. I appreciate it, Jared Goff. Shout out you.
Not on my team, man.
like I do blame Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
like
man.
if we go back to that Seattle NFC Championship game, Russell Westbrook threw like 4 interceptions.
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook.
They're walking on interceptions now.
I know he throw turnovers, not
This man
interceptions.
got too many turnovers. He's switching sports. That's crazy. This man throwing picks.
Russell Wilson threw 4 interceptions in that NFC Championship game. Last year, Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions in that NFC Championship.
On 3 straight possessions too. On top of that.
Yeah, we should have won both of those games. So I'm not going to sit there and blame the special teams. I'm not going to blame the defense, even though the defense did let us down. We still should have won that game.
Hey, July, humor me real fast. Who won those games? Was it Aaron Rodgers? No. I just want to know. He got 7 turnovers from his defense, 2 NFC Championship games, and went 0 for 2. Hot damn.
Hey, after this year, July, you gonna have that Aaron Rodgers who throw that in the garbage.
that man gonna be in Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna just have to give me a Jordan Love jersey, man. That's all.
Don't do that.
Hey, nah, straight up,
No,
I respect that.
no,
Like some of the Bronx fans who got Cleveland jerseys, Heat jerseys, another Heat jersey, and a Lakers jersey. I respect that.
Hey, I got one too.
I got a lot of
First of
Melo
all,
jerseys like that.
first of all,
I got a lot of
on that
Melo
tip,
jerseys like that.
I'm a Pelicans fan, so my Pelicans jerseys in there, even though I don't take them out very much.
Good
But
God, the Pelicans.
I
Oh, well,
don't take him
I
out very
understand you
much.
needed something. You needed something to clean, wipe your car when you're washing and shit. I understand why you got a Pelican jersey. I understand
Hey,
that. I
bro.
understand.
And we got what 15 wins, and y'all got 21. And y'all got LeBron, Russ. Who else I got over there? Carmelo. Who else I got over there?
And you got
Avery
Hey,
Bradley.
Boom,
hey, hey, hey,
shots.
and you
hey,
have a
you not
No,
talking
no,
superstar
they got
about.
23. They got 23.
eating himself to death so he doesn't have to put on a Pelicans jersey. Zion is literally eating himself to death so he doesn't have to play for you guys. So let's stop that
Hang on.
That way eat on them beignets.
there.
Hey,
He hasn't
John
met
Rich.
a meal he didn't like.
What's up?
Hey, John Rich. We touched on it a little earlier. Rams and Bucks part 2. What do the Buccaneers have to do to make sure they don't lose this game like earlier in the season?
They cannot allow just a straight 3 or 4 man rush to dominate the line. If the Rams can dominate our line without sending blitzes, that's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? I haven't looked on the update. I don't know if Worth's gonna be able to go the way he
I
was
don't know
looking.
either.
I doubt it.
I doubt it though. Yeah.
I doubt it.
I know he was in a walking boot earlier this week, so I
See, he
mean,
was a liability when he tried to play.
yeah. I don't know why the hell they even try to put him back in there. I understand it's playoffs and all that, but my brother, you and your second, third, nah, my brother, just sit down. But yeah, I mean, if we can force the Rams to have to send blitzes to put pressure on Brady, then I think we'll be all right. If they can get back there in the backfield by just sending a straight rush and drop everybody in coverage, it's gonna be a long night. I mean, we already know what Aaron Donald can do on their line. We know what Von Miller can do off the edge. I think Sean Murphy Button is hurt again, so that's another one of our better DBs down, and we know the weapons that they have now. So I mean, and that's kind of been our Achilles heel all year. Outside of Jamel Dean in man coverage, everybody else has been shaky as hell. Whitehead will make big plays here and there, and he'll make up for the mistakes he makes. But our secondary has been our problem all
How
year.
Carlson been doing this year?
He was banged up early too. I'm decent, man. It been the same. It been the same problem. He was our best man cover corner we had, but Jamel Dean been doing his thing this year. Jamel Dean has been balling out. Everybody else, I can't say the same for. You know what I'm saying? So definitely finding a way to better stop their weapons. Our rush definitely got to get there. Luckily we got everybody back, I believe, on that end. So if our rush can get back there on Stafford with him dealing with that little foot injury he has, that could help. I'm not too much worried about Cam Akers. I mean, our run defense has been solid for a while now. So I mean, definitely if we can't get pressure, and if they can get pressure without having to send blitzes, it's gonna be a long night. If they have to send 5 and 6 to be able to get pressure on us, I think we'll be all right. I mean, if you send a blitz at Brady, he gonna find an open man easy. I think I was watching something yesterday. He has the shortest amount of time from snap to throw lately. So I mean, he knows how to get the ball out of his hand. But teams have been sending blitzes, been trying to send pressure because that's kind of the blueprint on Brady. Get in his face, bang him up, it's gonna rattle him. I don't understand why people call it a blueprint. As every quarterback in the world, if you're in his face, of course, I'm gonna have a hard day. So it don't make sense to me. But being able to pressure him without sitting blitzes, because now you still have people in coverage, so you're making it hard for him to find those holes in the zone. So if we can maintain on Donald, I think we'll be all right, and it'll be whoever make the least amount of mistakes at that point. But if they can get pressure on us with only sending 4, it's gonna be a long night.
Good luck with that.
Right.
I'm saying it might happen. Donald and Von Miller, that's disgusting.
Exactly.
And with the offensive line banged up, it's gonna be a long night. But
Brady,
Brady can get the ball off quick enough. That's what really gonna be the case. Is Brady gonna be able to get the ball off quick enough? And if the stage gonna be too big for Matthew Stafford, where hopefully he don't piss down his leg that he going against Tom Brady.
That too.
Hey, with no Godwin and no AB, does Jalen Ramsey take Mike Evans out the game?
See, that's what I was about to say, man.
I don't think
Matter
so.
if he get the ball. Oh, it don't matter if he gets the ball out of his hand fast if there's nobody open. I think Jalen Ramsey is gonna
Jalen
line up
Ramsey.
on Mike, and they're gonna double Gronk. They're gonna high low Gronk, and they're gonna say, "Hey, Scotty Miller, have the game of your life."
What up, Cyril? What up, Cyril Grayson?
How about you be the star here? I just don't.
Tyler Johnson.
Matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I can't laugh at Scotty Miller what he did to us last year. I can't.
No. He did to Kevin King. Specifically Kevin King.
Kevin King is part of the Packers, so he did it to us. So I can't.
I just don't think it matters if Von Miller and Aaron Donald start tearing ass. Like I think they're gonna start tearing ass. It don't matter how fast you get out. You're gonna always end up in 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8 because them passes got to come out hot. There's only a few routes that you're gonna run on them high passes, a couple of spot routes, a couple of slants, maybe a quick out. That's always gonna get you a couple of 3 yards here, 4 yards here. And what happens when you drop one on 2nd down? Now you're looking at 3rd and 8, and they really going not Von Miller really get the pin in his bag. And Aaron Donald ain't got to worry about no draw. He ain't got to worry about you running the ball. He just gets a whip ass, and now you got to hold that ball just a little bit longer to get a little depth on those routes. I think this one actually going to be one of the most fascinating games. I think this is going to be one of the more fascinating games, but I think this is the game that has the most upset potential. I'm really liking this Rams matchup against the Bucs. The Bucs have a hurt offensive line, and the strength of the Rams is their pass rush. I mean, it is what it is. The Bucs' strength, and I would probably say that defensive line, and the Rams have missing their all-star tackle, and they're a little banged up on the offensive line. So this has a chance to be one hell of a game. But I also think that this has the most upset potential because I really think the Rams have the great equalizer when it comes to pass. Right? They have the best corner in football, Jalen Ramsey. And he can literally, people talk about taking away a guy out of game plan. He really can wreck a whole game plan and shut down one side of the field. If he can X out Mike and they can high low Gronk, man, the Bucs are in trouble.
He's X out Mike the past couple games he played him. Just saying.
But I don't like how the Rams use Ramsey because he doesn't follow all the time.
Yeah, he doesn't really shot usually.
So he'll randomly go in the slot. He'll randomly go it don't make sense.
They move him around a whole lot.
You got to think about what their defense is built off of. Their defense is what you call a split defense. They rather split the field in half than have one guy travel. So if I can split the field in half and I can neutralize one side of the field, I can load up coverage on the other side of the field. A lot of defensive coordinators believe in a split defense as far as coverage is concerned.
Yeah, and they wanted Ramsey to be more active on the defense, so they put him everywhere. They might put him in the slot. He might play one side of the field. He might be rushing. So they used that to make him more active because it was like he said, it was a point in time where Jalen Ramsey was shutting down one side of the field. They wouldn't even throw it his way at all. But so they just did it so he could be more active in the defense.
Guess what? I want my corner to have a boring day. That means you were doing your job. If you are bored as a corner, that means you have locked up your side of the field. Keep doing you. Not worry about you.
I mean, I wouldn't complain because they haven't had really a problem with it. If it was like a problem with Jalen Ramsey being a multiple positions on defense, then I hear you.
I mean, I feel like it's hurt him in some games, though, because some receivers have been able to take advantage of it sometimes. I've seen it.
Hey, I'm gonna go around the panel and ask the predictions for the game. Caleb, Rams and Buccaneers, who you got?
I got the Bucs because I gotta see y'all again next week. I got to see y'all again next week. I got to see y'all again.
You don't have any problems.
who you got, Justin? Rams or Buccaneers, Justin?
I got the Rams.
Who you got, SB?
It's all the stars is aligning for the Rams to beat the Buccaneers. And it's like if you don't beat the Buccaneers this year, I don't know when other time you're gonna beat them. This is too perfect opportunity, but I can't. I just can't bet against the GOAT, bro. I had to see him lose for me to believe it. So I can't bet against Tom Brady, bro. So I'm gonna still say the Bucs. I think the Bucs should lose. The Rams should win, but I just can't bet against Tom Brady. I had to see him lose.
Jeremy, you already said the Bucs, huh?
You already know I'm rolling, man. Come on, man. You already know.
Who you got, CA?
I got the Rams. To me, man, it's Stafford's year, man. He got to get it done, bro. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of Detroit fan base being underappreciated of what he's doing for the team. And I just want to see him get it done, man. I'm tired of hearing the slander. And to me, it's really, I don't think he's gonna have another opportunity like this ever in his career.
I hear the Lions fan in your heart coming out when you say
I was just about to say that.
I hear the Lions fan coming out while you saying this.
But I think it's a good matchup for the Rams. So just looking at it like, you know, the secondaries, you know, for the Bucs is a little shaky, and you know you got Odell and Cooper Kupp, and you got Van Jefferson. So you got to get it done.
Higbee.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know how much Cam Akers is gonna be a factor with that Bucs run defense, but you know, you still got Cam Akers back. That's still a plus. You know,
Michelle's there too.
You still got Sonny Michelle, so you got to get it done, man. It's that simple.
I don't know, Caleb. I know you said that you want us to see the Bucs again. I would rather see the Bucs again, because I think the Rams would be a bad matchup with against us in the NFC Championship game. Yeah, I think that would be a bad matchup. So I'd rather play the Bucs. Saying that, I got the Rams winning this game. Coach, you already said the Rams, huh?
I got the Rams.
Got you.
Caleb on the island by yourself.
I don't want to hear nothing.
Nah, SB picked the Bucs too.
I picked the Bucs too.
He picked Tom Brady. Yeah, that's right.
I can't bet against him, bro. I'm sorry. Every time you with the money on the table, he turned different.
I normally can't, but that's too many injuries.
It's too many. I feel like they should lose, but I gotta see them lose, bro.
That's too much. He done had a receiver quit mid-season. Chris Godwin tore his ACL. You know, your tailback.
You see how that happened though, right? They was getting their ass kicked the whole game against the Jets.
That's the Jets,
AB, but the point exactly, they was losing to the Jets. And it looked like they was finna lose that game until AB quit, and then the dude just turned up.
I mean,
he threw a game-winning touchdown to Cyril Grayson, who's also hurt.
Right, and
he didn't even play college
football.
And
a couple weeks before that, it was Bashard Perriman who also
hurt.
Yeah. I read what the Facebook user just said. First of all, yeah, they beat the Rams last year, but they didn't have Cooper Kupp, and they had Jared Goff, and Aaron Donald was like hurt. He only played like 50% of the snap, so yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah, I was waiting for somebody to respond to that ridiculous comment.
Yeah, I was
waiting for somebody to respond to that.
And Jared Goff is already bad, and Jared Goff is hurt.
And they didn't have Cooper Kupp, bro. Cooper Kupp was nowhere to be found in the game, bro.
I got a question for the panel, just hypothetically speaking, right? So, say if what would this rank Matthew Stafford if he was able to accomplish this? Say if he played Tom Brady, he beats Brady, the Packers
beats Rodgers,
and he beat Rodgers, and the Chiefs make the playoffs, and he beats
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
He's all a famer then. That's all.
No, they would put him in the Joe Flacco category. He had one hell of a run, but we know who he is.
No,
Joe Flacco had a run.
Nah, he got to be over Joe Flacco.
Okay, maybe Eli Manning type of run, maybe.
I give Eli Manning.
I give Eli.
Y'all might want to relook at that Joe Flacco run. Y'all might
want no. That Joe Flacco run was insane.
No, but the thing is, he's not Joe Flacco because he actually had good individual seasons.
Okay, you know what they call a looter in a ride? Anybody could do it. I mean, he threw for a lot of yards. That's beautiful. What did he do though?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers do it.
I'm not saying
Aaron Rodgers do it every year though.
I mean, his numbers are way better.
Let's not compare oranges to cantaloupe.
I mean, but he only got one Super Bowl. You said
Aaron Rodgers has MVPs, bro. We talking about individual accomplishments. We're not talking about all that other shit. Let's keep it. Let's keep it in the.
That was years Matt Stafford threw 5,000 yards in Detroit and won like 6 games.
Right.
Hey. And
he put up numbers like Aaron Rodgers.
That's what I'm saying.
He got the numbers.
He's a scrub, but let's not put him as no legendary quarterback. Now let's.
Nobody's saying legendary quarterback.
We're not saying legend. We're saying whatever.
But then why
it would make him?
Aaron Rodgers
make him a French Hall of Famer.
Hold on.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a legendary regular season quarterback. But in the regular season, he's legendary, yes. But in the playoffs, he's not all that.
He still has a Super Bowl ring. You can't take.
He got one. What is his
Hold on.
regular
Don't matter.
season?
Hey man, Aaron Rodgers,
He got
Aaron
one. He like
Rodgers is
1 in 5
tied for
in the
second
NFC
in
Championship
passing
game. What are you talking
touchdowns in
about?
the
Dan
playoffs.
Marino has none, and
Aaron
he's
Rodgers
still
and
one
Joe
of the greatest
Flacco postseason
quarterbacks of
resume
all
is the
time.
same.
I said Aaron Rodgers is the greatest regular season quarterback of all
No,
time. Regular
no,
season,
no.
yes.
No, that's
He's-
Peyton. That's actually Peyton Manning.
That's Peyton
That's
Manning,
actually
yeah.
Peyton
Yeah,
Manning.
that's it.
Yeah, Peyton Manning got about 5
So,
MVPs in there.
hey, bro,
Yeah.
y'all act like it's so easy to win a Super Bowl, bro. Like he only has one. Man, you know how many people don't have any?
You know how many
Yeah.
That's the
times?
hardest
Jared
thing
Goff.
to accomplish in team sports is winning a Super Bowl. That is the hardest thing to do. The second
Agreed.
hardest thing to win is 2 Super Bowls, bro. So I don't want to hear about that. He only has one argument. Let's throw that out the window.
But
Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, all that, they can win a championship. It doesn't do nothing for that legacy. The question was posed,
Huh?
what does that do for his
Huh?
legacy?
So it was
He has
just
a
you
ring.
get a
That's
Super
right,
Bowl
bro.
that does nothing for his legacy? What?
Matt Stafford's only
Yes,
problem
it
in
is.
his Hall of Fame ballot is that he doesn't have a ring.
Exactly.
Matthew Stafford's
He got
gonna
all
make
the
the Hall of
numbers.
Fame. He has 2 5,000-yard seasons. He's gonna make the Hall of Fame. There's not many quarterbacks that hasn't thrown for 5,000 yards. That's not in the Hall of Fame. Go check it out.
That's our.
He's gonna
That's
make the Hall of
fine.
Fame. That's
No,
why I
he
say
gotta
a
win.
Super
He
Bowl
gotta
does
win.
nothing for him.
He gotta win.
No, without the
I don't
ring,
think
I don't
he
think he gets it. I don't think he gets it.
If he
Is
don't win
Phillip
no Super
Rivers a
Bowl, I
Hall
don't
of
think he
Famer?
gets in. No.
Is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
He doesn't have a Super Bowl, but he's thrown for multiple touchdowns. He's thrown for 5,000-yard seasons. He's gonna get in the Hall of
Okay,
Fame.
now
bro.
watch this though.
I'm
The point
sorry.
is this though.
Go look at the criteria
point
for
is
the Hall of
the
Fame.
difference- but
There's
the
certain
difference
things
between-
that you get in the Hall of Fame that you automatically in there.
But okay,
Every person that has won an NFL MVP is going to get in the Hall of Fame. When they ask about is Cam Newton the Hall of Fame, he has the NFL MVP.
they
He's gonna get in
questioning
the Hall
that
of
though.
Fame.
They question if Cam. I think Cam should be in. They question
I don't
Cam.
know if Cam. I don't know if Cam.
Name me
question-
the NFL
I don't think
MVP
Cam
that's
should
not in
get
the
in.
Hall of Fame.
Hey, coach, this is my
I
problem
don't
with
think-
Stafford though. This is my problem with Stafford though. Okay, he's putting up all these numbers. He's on Detroit and he was losing. It's how many quarterbacks you know put up a lot of numbers and was losing. I think he only made the playoffs like one time in his whole career.
Twice.
Name the
I'm not
quarterback
counting
that
the
has
Rams.
thrown
Not counting the Rams.
Twice.
Once, right?
No.
Twice.
Twice with Detroit.
Okay.
No.
How many
This is
playoffs?
four. This is number 4.
Okay. How many
Yeah,
playoff
Detroit.
games did he win? How many playoff games
Zero.
did he win before he came to the Rams?
0. He's on 3.
So how is he going to get in? He's known as a loser quarterback with just numbers. No, you're not going to get in. You got to at least win. Because Philip, by the way, the point with Philip Rivers making the playoffs and getting to AFC Championship games is winning. We were just losing to the Patriots. So that kind of helps him and boost him up because he was winning and getting to the playoffs.
How did Barry Sanders get into the Hall of Fame?
You said
Individual numbers, right?
By being a demigod.
Quarterbacks are
Yeah.
No.
That's a quarterback, though.
Lead it
Quarterback
some
is
of the
different.
time.
I know. I'm just looking at the.
Hey, Dan
lineup.
Marino in the Hall of
I'm
Fame.
not talking about. I'm not talking
Dan Marino?
about play. I'm just talking about the fact that you don't have to get to the playoffs
Marino
and have
was winning
playoff
games.
success to get into the Super
Yeah,
into Hall of
Yeah,
Fame.
but Marino went to one
Megatron
Super
is
Bowl
going to
guy.
be in the Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter about your about winning in the playoffs. It's about your individual statistics. There's certain criteria that if you get to that passing over 200 yards, 200 touchdowns, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get in the Hall of Fame. If you have multiple 5,000-yard passing seasons, you're 9 times out of 10 gonna get into the Hall of Fame. Okay. If you win an NFL MVP, you're gonna get into the Hall of Fame. It's just certain criteria that the NFL looks at to put you in the Hall of Fame. I'm just sorry, it is what it is.
I just don't know if he
gonna
gets
get
there.
to the. I'm not saying he's the first ballot. I'm not gonna say it's not there by any chance, but he's gonna eventually get into the Hall of Fame, and this Super Bowl is just gonna be like, okay, that might stop him from being a fourth ballot and then move him up to a second ballot Hall of Fame guy. But it doesn't shape the way we look at Matthew fucking Stafford. No one's gonna say, oh, I knew he was a great quarterback. No one's gonna do that shit. It's gonna be like, oh, Matthew Stafford, he's gonna get added to the Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson, the guy that has a Hall of Fame that won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Jameis Winston got a 5,000-yard passing season. He going to the Hall of Fame.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say that he's on that level. He's more talented than those guys. I'm saying his perception is gonna be he's a guy that ended up with a Super Bowl ring.
But Coach, two things.
I don't think so.
Hold on, wait. 2 things, Coach. One, somebody just said Jameis Winston got a 5K pass the season. Is he gonna be in the Hall of Fame? We know that's a hell no.
He doesn't have multiple 5,000. Keyword. Let's not pick and choose what I say. I said multiple 5,000.
Matthew Stafford did it twice, and then he got another problem too.
That's multiple, right?
Okay, you're right. Was
Calvin Johnson? Well, he did it once, but it was like
was Calvin Johnson on the team when he did it?
I don't know. This is I'm gonna have to ask the committee, but I don't think that when they do the Hall of Fame induction, they look at who you play with. That's just me.
I believe
think
they
look
will.
at your individual statistics. your
Only reason I said
individual
this, only reason I said this because Calvin Johnson just made the Hall of Fame off just because he was Megatron and he ended his career early. You don't really think they're gonna look at it and say maybe he was just getting the credit off that season because he had Megatron with him?
So if
Megatron
that's the
literally
case,
made the Hall
then-
of Fame on a shortened career. Well, not
All
that
right,
many.
because did you see his numbers?
I know that's fine, but the point that I'm saying, that's my point.
They looked.
They
at
gonna
his
credit more
numbers.
to
I think-
Megatron than Stafford.
I think without
then
the
why?
Reed, I think if Stafford don't win the Super Bowl, he's not going to the Hall of Fame. I don't.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
mean, my thing is, I mean, I'm a big Stafford fan, but I don't think he gets it without a ring because to me, if you look at his career, yeah, he
was
put up
losing.
really great numbers, but he wasn't getting no Pro Bowls or All Pro. He wasn't doing that with that. You know what I'm saying?
If he wins the Super Bowl, I think he could get in. I think
Yeah,
I
I think he gets in
it's
with the Super Bowl. He gets in.
It's just a lot of other quarterbacks from this era, and a lot of other quarterbacks who's coming in after him. By the time he retires, there's going to be more quarterbacks retiring at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to have Wilson who's going to be retiring around the same time. You're going to have Matt Ryan and stuff. I don't know what they age different. I mean, it's just some other quarterbacks who all have either comparable resumes or better resumes who going to be retiring around the same time. Other people who you know what I'm saying? I mean, the NFL Hall of Fame is hard to get in. T.O. ain't getting early.
Right.
You know
and I'm going to say, this is not the basketball Hall of Fame.
Because of some personal reasons, but I don't think Stafford has that Hall of Fame aura where people
T.O. is in the Hall of Fame, man.
Yeah, no, he is in the Hall of Fame.
Look how long it took him to
him a
get
while.
You say, look how long it took him just because
Because
of
of
the
Sammy.
I mean, that
Sammy
was
Ball
politics.
is in the
That
Hall
was
of
politics.
Fame.
Yeah, but Sling and Sammy Ball played in like the 70s or the
Sammy Ball's in the
60s.
Hall of Fame, bro.
That don't count. The
That's what I'm
70s
saying.
don't count. That's a
Sammy
whole different
Ball's in the
era.
Hall of Fame. Hey, come on.
Well, look, okay, look,
Hey,
like
bro,
he said, I
this
want to go
is
to
what
your
I'm
point,
saying,
bro.
That shit
Hey, hold on, wait,
happens.
coach.
I don't think Stafford gets in before Matty Ice. For one.
Look, listen,
So,
this is my
still
point.
he
Look,
ain't. I don't
hold
That's
on,
what
wait.
I'm saying. I'm not saying he's a first ballot, but he's gonna get in.
Oh yeah.
But look,
I
this is
mean,
my
not a
point
first
though. Look,
ballot
we
guy.
got so
He
many.
be having
We
them
got so,
weird years. He got them weird voting years.
we got so many quarterbacks that's in the league now that's going to be ranked on the Hall of Fame with him. You got Tom Brady, of course, Aaron Rodgers, like you said, Matty Ice. You got Lamar Jackson. You got Russell
There's
Wilson,
no way for me to put it back on.
Cam
Hey,
Newton.
bro, you do know they're not
Cam
gonna go in
Newton
at the
over
same
him.
time, right? You do know they're not gonna go in at the same time, right?
But the point I'm just saying though,
It's
so it's so
multiple
many.
years.
It's I already named 6 people that's going to be ahead of him right now. That he's at right now.
Okay,
So how's-
and
that's-
again,
that's
that
not
don't mean they're gonna be in the. You just named Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has roughly 7-8 more years to play before he even retires. So what I'm saying is about the year that you go up. It's about the year that in the
Matt
class that he's
Stafford may
involved
get in. I got Matt Stafford. If I had to vote right now, he's probably in.
No.
But my rule is for the NFL Hall of Fame. If I say probably, I probably don't put you in.
Right.
I mean, to me right now, like I'm a big Stafford fan. To me right now, he's a French Hall of Famer. I don't think he's quite there, but I think if just one thing, one factor, if he can get that one ring, I think he's in. He's a fringe right now.
I just
to me,
named
that
6
one ring
people
gets
off
him in.
top of the head. They got a
Puts
better
him in.
chance. I mean, Lamar Jackson in the beginning of his career got a
I don't
better
think he's
chance.
quite there.
And my thing,
I
I always say
yet,
like
honestly.
for me in the Hall of Fame, especially in the
Bro,
NFL, if I
again,
say
they don't go in at the
probably,
same time. Everything.
if I say
No, I'm
probably,
just
I
saying,
don't
but
have you in.
a guy who's in the beginning of his career got a better chance of making it than him right now. So how is it like guarantee him? Lamar Jackson got a better
But
chance of making it.
But Matt Stafford is by far the greatest quarterback in the Lions history.
Again, it's
easy.
not
Easy.
big that, bro.
So that's also
All right,
a feather
I
in
had
his
to
cap
find
too.
it.
He's
I just
easily
found-
the best
can
quarterback in
Oh, wait,
franchise
I'm
history.
sorry.
Easily, I agree, Justin. All right,
So-
let's talk about Josh Allen
I
versus
have one
Pat
question for the
Mahomes.
panel. I just
Oh, go ahead,
Yeah.
coach.
Oh my bad.
Go ahead, coach.
I just got one question. Can anybody name me the NFL quarterback that has thrown for over 50,000 yards that's not in the Hall of Fame? Can you name me the guy?
That don't got a ring too?
You can't, because it doesn't exist. If you throw
they got a
50,000 yards, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Do they have a ring?
Stafford has
Do they
49.
all have a ring?
Marino
Not all
doesn't.
of them have rings.
A Marino doesn't.
Not
Only
all
Marino.
of them have a ring. I just said that.
I mean, but
So,
Marino
Phillip Rivers doesn't either.
Stafford has 49,000.
Phillip Rivers not in the Hall of Fame yet.
He's going to get over
That's it.
50,000 passing. He's going to have over 50,000 passing yards. Every quarterback that has thrown for 50,000 passing yards gets into the Hall of Fame, whether they have a ring or not. I just looked it up. If you have 50,000, you're in that bitch.
So
I mean, but
we
he only
can't.
has-
we
he
can't-
only has-
What's their win-loss ratio?
He has no
Are we
accolades. He has no
guaranteed
accolades on
he
his
has
name,
a ring?
though, bro.
So now we got more qualifiers. Now
No, I'm
listen to
asking.
me, Waller.
I
just
guarantee
gave
they
you the
win-loss
list.
ratio was higher than losing.
Bro,
all I'm
I
saying
just gave you
is
the list, my brother.
No, I answer me.
You
Okay,
going
in that
back to
list, how many of
qualifiers
them
and
have a
excuses. I
negative?
just gave you what the list is. If
No,
you
wait,
have
coach,
50,000
my
passing yards, you're in that thing.
My coach. Okay, now how many of those quarterbacks with those many yards have more losses than wins? That's in the Super Bowl. I mean, in the Hall of Fame.
Hey, bro, listen,
You can't
listen.
name one.
You're
You
talking
can't
about something
name
that's
one.
irrelevant,
That's my
though.
point.
But no,
You
you're talking about
cannot
something
name
that's
one. You have to
irrelevant.
win.
You're talking
That
about
wins
something
losses
that's
is
irrelevant.
irrelevant.
No, you don't.
All I'm
Man.
saying, hey, if we
Name,
making
Bro,
name me
if we
one of those
making 50
quarterbacks.
test,
if we
bro.
making 50
Hey, go
if we
to the
making
Pro Bowl. Go to
50K,
the Hall of.
Answer the question.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How many of those
Bro,
quarterbacks
I just
got
get. Listen,
more losses
you're
than
talking
wins that's in
about
the
something
Hall of Fame?
that's okay. Since you asked the
None.
question 5 times, now let me tell you. If you go to the Hall of Fame criteria, they don't add wins and losses. They look at individual statistics. They look at Pro Bowl voting. They look at MVP voting. They don't go off wins and losses. They look at individual statistics because
I
wins
hear
and
you.
losses are team accomplishment.
Okay, now I hear you, but you didn't answer the question. How many of those quarterbacks,
Oh, I just
those
did. I
starters,
literally just
have
did.
more losses than wins? None of them.
You know,
None of them.
I don't think
all
he
right.
You
has
can't
more
name
losses than wins,
one.
does he?
You're right.
Who?
I think
Stafford.
Eli Manning is like 50-50. I think he got a
No,
five.
he
Yeah, no,
like
Eli
he
Manning is
got more
dead
wins than
Eli
like
is
losses.
50-50.
500 quarterbacks.
It's like
Yeah,
right
he's
there,
Yeah,
but
he
he
got a
got more
500
wins than
right.
losses.
Hey, that's all I'm saying. If we
We
making
gotta
50,
listen
he's
to the
117 and
clear
stats
that
and
117.
Eli
listen to
Manning
his
is a hands
pride.
down Hall of Famer. That's all we saying. So hey, we calling Eli Manning a for sure Hall of Famer. Then hey,
He beat
I think that criteria
he
you just
beat
gave.
Tom Brady twice. You know that hold a lot of weight. That hold a lot of weight. That he
Yeah,
beat
that's
Tom
like
Eli
Brady.
is
that's
in the
like
Hall of
Joe.
All
Fame.
That's
right.
like Joe Namath. His one
His
Super Bowl got
defense,
him in the
his
Hall of Fame.
defense beat Tom Brady twice.
Yeah.
But they
Eli
gonna say
Manning.
Eli Manning beat Tom Brady twice. You
As
know
a
how it
Hey,
Patriots
is.
fan, F Eli
hey,
Manning. All right.
I don't
that throw to
know.
Um,
Mario
I
Manningham was
don't know.
one of the
I don't
best
know
Super
if
Bowl
Eli
throws I
Manning.
ever seen,
That's
hey,
what
man.
I'm
hey,
About the
saying.
yeah,
I
helmet
don't know
no,
if
catch.
Eli Manning makes it.
No,
no, no,
no,
no,
no,
no, no,
not
no,
that
no,
one. I'm
no,
talking
no.
about the
That's David
next one to
Tyree.
Mario Manningham.
He talking about that throw to him up the sideline on like 3rd and 8. Yeah, that thing was pretty.
Yeah, yeah. I'm talking about that kid.
He
That
dropped
that
that
one to
thing in a
David
bucket.
Tyree. That shit was lucky, man.
Nah, but that one to Mario Manningham, he dropped that thing in a bucket.
Hey, man. Hey, let's talk about
Pass the
Josh
ball.
Allen versus Patrick Mahomes Part 2, man. Caleb, I want to start with you, Caleb.
Mm,
Who you got winning that game and why? Bills versus Chiefs.
mm. I'm gonna go Bills. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna just go off the record. I mean, not off the record. I'm gonna just go off the wall with this pick.
Off the plane,
Bills.
off the plot.
Bills just simply because their defense has been a whole lot better. Their defense compared to last year, like when they played the Chiefs last year, right? And Mahomes just he did what that he actually wanted to do last year. Um, the Bills are actually running the ball a little bit better now. Devin Singletary is doing his thing, but I think that the Bills have more of an edge defensively that will actually give them the actual dub.
Gotcha. So Bills, and who you got, Justin?
I got the Bills.
Why the Bills?
Um,
I know you're a big Pat Mahomes fan. Why the Bills?
Because of what happened last week.
wow. Uh, I got the Bills right now. They feel like a team playing with a lot of angry energy. What I mean by that is, I watched that pregame speech that Hyde gave for us. They wanted to destroy us, and they did a pretty good job of it, right? And so Stephon Diggs gonna have that same energy. I mean, as we all remember, he watched the Chiefs celebrate last year. He spoke about it openly all year. He wanted to get back in Kansas City to play them boys again. He got his chance. That's a lot of energy and momentum and anger and revenge fueled up in a football team. They blew us out. They annihilated us on a level I've never seen people get annihilated before. It could be the Chiefs' turn. I'm not saying the Chiefs will get blew out 47-17, but the Bills coming with a lot of angry energy. So I got the Bills.
Who you got, SB?
It's the same situation how I look at like I said with the Bucs and Rams. Like if you don't beat them this year, I don't know when the other time you're gonna do it. This is the Bills' perfect opportunity to get them, even though the Chiefs got hot at the end of the season. It's really gonna come down to like who outplay who to me, or who has the less turnovers between the quarterbacks to get this done. So I want to see the Bills win. especially because I'm a Chargers fan. I definitely love to see the Chiefs lose, so I'm gonna go pick the Bills just off the strength of that.
All right, who you got?
That's a bar.
For the record, I got the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs for the record. Who you got, John Rich?
I got the Bills too. I see somebody just put the comment talking about since the second half of that Bucs game, they've been a different team. That's about man. The Bills been rolling ever since that game against us, bro. They've been hitting on all cylinders. The best offense in the league, best defense in the league. Uh, yeah, I definitely got the Bills. I don't think that defense will shut down the Chiefs' offense. That just don't happen. You know what I'm saying? So I got the Bills in the shootout, really.
Gotcha. Who you got, CA?
I had to go with the Chiefs. I just, man, Josh Allen been doing this thing recently, but I just can't trust me this consistent so consistently, bro. I can't trust to be this good consistently, bro. I can't trust it. I mean, to me, it's got to stop pretty soon. And I think it may stop this game, man. I mean, but I wouldn't be surprised if they win. Of course, because they got a lot of stuff to prove, and they got what they wanted, another game in Kansas City. So maybe they may show up, but just based on this season, I just can't trust Josh Allen to be this good, on a consistent basis.
All right, Coach, you got the Bills or the Chiefs?
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, man. It's always something. There's always value in actually being there before. We're talking about a Super Bowl winning quarterback. They've been in this situation, and again, they got hot at the right time. I'm gonna always put my money on Patty Mahomes. Then the spread is only 1.5, so I'll take Chiefs in a shootout, man. I think it's gonna be a high scoring affair. The Bills can run the football. We know the Chiefs can't stop much of a nosebleed at times, and we know that the Bills secondary can get spotty at times. So I think this makes for gonna be for an exciting game. It's my second favorite game of the weekend, but I'm gonna roll with Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs in the shootout.
All right. Next, I just got a hypothetical question. Joe Burrow. To me, in my humble opinion, I think that LSU team was the greatest college football team ever. That 2019 LSU team. I think Joe Burrow had the greatest quarterback season for in college. What does a championship, and who are LSU fan up in it? Justin, I'm gonna go to you first. What would a championship do to Joe Burrow legacy if the Cincinnati Bengals will win?
Well, first of all, that man would have gotten the Cincinnati Bengals a chip. Forget anything else I'm about to say. He would have gotten the Cincinnati Bengals a chip.
Yeah.
That is in and of itself mind-boggling. But no, people would talk about Pat Mahomes with a great start to his career. You'd have to put Joe Burrow up there. In his last 2 healthy seasons, he would have commanded the 2019 LSU team and the Bengals to a chip. Because last year it was in the middle. He tore his ACL. Mm-hmm. So that in and of itself would be a hell of a start to a career. Think about it. He blew up on the scene. 2019 LSU, greatest team ever in my opinion. I'm wearing the LSU hoodie, so I'm not gonna change that fact. Every passing record on planet Earth, it felt like, for college football. And then you jump right into the Bengals. You supposed to be rookie of the year. You tear your ACL trying to be Superman, and then you come this year and win a chip with the Bengals. Like that in and of itself elevates you to a level that jumps you already into that. Is he already a Hall of Famer conversation? They have Pat Mahomes after his first Super Bowl. Is he already a Hall of Famer? Da-da-da-da-da. If Burrow wins the chip, it's going to be hard to keep him out of your top 5, top 6. It's going to be real hard to keep him out of your top 5, top 6.
Sure.
So
yeah, I think he finished third in MVP voting. Some people got Cooper Kupp, Jonathan Taylor. Nah, Rodgers, Brady, and Burrow.
Yeah.
Rodgers, Brady, like no position is more valuable than.
And executive of the year should go to Joe Burrow too. He told them people, "I don't want a left tackle. I want Jamar Chase."
He made the right call. He made the right call though, because that boy Jamar Chase acting like a fool though.
All right, so I'm gonna come to you next, CA. What's your thoughts on if Joe Burrow will lead the Bengals to a Super Bowl?
Man, man, he would do two crazy things, man, with the type of season he's had, recently. Nobody expected the LSU team to be what it was when he took them all the way to the championship and they just ran through Clemson like they didn't exist.
And
Um,
smacked Alabama.
yeah, they smacked
Y'all
Alabama
beat us
too.
by
they,
5
they smacked,
points. Y'all beat us by 5 points. Come on now. Y'all
I
beat
mean,
us
but
by
they,
five
Trash game. Keep it a trash
but
game.
they beat him in a pretty good they beat him in a pretty good fashion for Alabama though. But I mean, he got his college teammate this year. People talk about the Bengals for picking him over the tackle. I mean, I thought they should have picked the tackle too, but I was wrong, and I admit to be wrong. Because you got your college teammate, they just have chemistry that doesn't really come around too often, man. And we've seen it on full display this year. It's got him all the way to the playoffs, and then got him, the win last week. But I would say definitely it'll definitely put him easily in the Hall of Fame conversation right away, and it'll definitely put him probably in the top five easily. Just I mean, like for you to be able to like get the Bengals at Super Bowl like second year, like we didn't expect the Bengals to be good, until a really long time down the line, especially with the AFC North. Like we thought it was really gonna be tough, for Burrow to be where he is right now. But he's got him there, man. If he's able to get a Super Bowl, that'd be shit. Yeah, I don't really know what to say at that point. I mean, he's kind of didn't done it all that. I mean, just he just had more years, to prove.
Gotcha, Caleb.
Yeah,
I'm gonna come in.
hold on. Before you
Go
go,
ahead.
Caleb. Just all of y'all. Yeah, all of y'all watch sports television.
Yeah.
Imagine watching Sports Center and seeing a Bengals championship parade. Like just imagine that on your TV. You be sitting there like, huh?
Yeah, that'll be the most between them and the Browns. They're probably the worst. They'll be the weirdest Super Bowl parade.
You'd
Yeah,
be like, why? It's snowing. It's cold. They don't even want to be there for real. Like,
they gonna want to be there. They gonna want to be there. They got nothing else to do in
They gonna
Cincinnati.
turn
They
up.
gonna want to be there.
They gonna turn up.
they got what? Oh man, it's like the Eagles Super Bowl parade. That threw me off too. What the fuck am I looking at?
Because they beat the Patriots.
I mean, hey, everybody beat y'all on their way to the Super Bowl. So yeah, if you want
Shots
to go
fired.
there,
Wow, shots fired.
Hey, Caleb, what's your thoughts of Joe Burrow? You're an LSU fan, Caleb?
Yeah, I am.
What's your thoughts of Joe Burrow? Joe Burrow will lead Cincinnati to a Super Bowl.
Well, a lot of people like myself, I thought that Joe was a bum. Like like I thought that he couldn't really throw the ball with up, right? But then once that you had the right like coaches there, like like Joe Brady, and you had the other stars there to actually like help like elevate him, then it made me look at him different because like there was a reason why that he had left left Ohio State, and it was because that he couldn't really get the job. Then fast forward to last year before he got injured, Joe Burrow was actually putting up some record numbers and everything. And then he got injured. And then he came back and then he just picked up where that he had left off. And I'm just like, man, this dude is like really, really special. I think with him winning a Super Bowl, especially whenever nobody expected the Bengals to actually win, like nobody expected this at all. Man, I think that would really put him, like currently wise, in the top five quarterbacks, and like that will actually put him above Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
That would definitely have him up to par with Mahomes, but the only thing that he has on him is just the MVP. But for Burrow to actually do that with a horrible team, like like I think that should elevate him more. That should give him much more bonus points and everything.
I mean, bro, definitely had a lot of tough situation. I mean, you play with Cincinnati Bengals, and also like Mahomes able to sit a year, like and learn, and he has injury too. So that
Right.
goes too.
All
Nigga
right,
had
Coach.
like two different coaches too. So like, come on, man.
Coach. You made a comment earlier in the conversation saying that LSU was the third greatest college football team. Who was your first two? You on mute,
Can't hear you,
Coach?
bro. You on mute.
You're on mute.
Coach, can't hear you.
Oh shit.
Still can't hear you. Nothing.
Stop stealing the public library Wi-Fi.
And that because he's trying
I
to stop
kind
that
of agree with
BS
him
when it
on
come out
that
his
too,
mouth.
though. I kind of agree with him on that too. I ain't necessarily. I don't know where to like rank them like with college like that, but I know you like you said you got that Miami team, you got a couple Miami teams, then you got a couple Alabama teams you can put over.
We beat 7 teams in the top 25.
I don't
We
think
beat
there's no. I
5
don't think
teams
there's
in
an
the
Alabama
top
team you can put
10.
over them. I think the teams people gonna put over them is that Nebraska team, the Miami team.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of them, I don't know what the team you.
I mean, but they went through everybody though. I mean,
Won't be forgetting about Nebraska, bro.
Nebraska ain't even earned theirs on the field, but that was a poll vote. I ain't worried about that. Ain't worried about
But
that.
no,
And
I mean, but I feel like
I feel a lot of people don't put them as number one because of that.
It would be better to argue about Joe Burrow alone. Him like probably had one of the greatest quarterback seasons, but you could debate that with other quarterbacks. You could debate that against Tim Tebow. You know, Tim Tebow had a great great quarterback season.
I mean, you can
that
also
man
say
have
that
2 highs with his trophy case.
I mean, you can also say that Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase have one of the best duo. Was one of the best.
Miami had like 35 NFL players.
Yeah, true.
I'll say Alabama have a team full of NFL players. So
that's what I'm saying. Like people talking about like
what does having NFL players have to do with anything though?
That means a lot.
No, but what I'm saying is
college teams is what happened in college. Like what was the records in college? Like what?
But Ken Birdsong brought up the fact that Burrow had some fire teammates, and I'm like, Bama still getting quarterbacks drafted. Look at their damn teams. Two was the 5th overall pick. This man had 4 first-round receivers. I ain't never heard it in my life.
Yeah.
4 of them.
Hey, we see what 2 is though.
He had 4 first-round receivers, 2 first-round running backs, 3 first-round offensive linemen, and the defense had 8 NFL starters on it.
Yeah, but hey, even though Joe Burrow playing good, I'm not even saying this as a fan of the Chargers, but I don't think he's better than Justin Herbert yet either.
Hey man, Joe Burrow in the playoffs.
That's fine. He's still not better than him individually. Still not better than him individually.
I think when it comes to that,
when your defense can't stop the run, I don't know how far you're gonna make it to the playoffs.
Hey, yeah, coach calling timeouts.
Back on the LSU thing, I think with July, what you were saying, what does how many NFL players you had on your roster have to do with being the greatest college team? And I always thought the same thing. People bring up Miami with the NFL players, which is cool. That's fine. But we talking about the college season. But I could still put them number one because if I'm not mistaken, they had the number one offense in the nation, and I don't know where, but they was like a top 5 defense as well. So I mean, they
didn't play nobody.
They straight dominated. But LSU beat Buku top 10.
LSU beat 7 teams in the top 25 and 5 teams in the top 10.
It's definitely out of them 2. It's definitely out of them 2 teams. That one you want for number 1, I'm fine, but it's out of them 2.
And it be Alabama in Alabama.
Yeah, it'd be Bama in Bama. Hold on, I got the picture on my phone. Give me a second. Just keep talking. I'm gonna find it. I got it on my phone somewhere.
Do y'all want me to start bringing up old whoopings like the 21?
We ain't talking about you.
Y'all want me to start
bringing
up them type of matches? Y'all didn't get past the 50-yard line. Y'all want me to start bringing up?
We ain't talking about you. The deer antler spray y'all players on that just it disappeared into the ether. They ain't bringing it up no more. All right, so LSU beat 7 teams in the top 10.
Yeah,
they were the 2nd team ever to go 15-0. First number 1 seed in the football playoff era to win. Joe Burrow had 65 touchdowns, a 202 passer rating. Like, come on, man! Like, we won every award.
You can hear me?
Literally all of them.
Yeah.
Coach,
I can't hear
you
nothing.
can talk, Coach? Okay,
you can't hear us?
Oh, damn. Coach keep going in and out.
I guess Coach Chalk, we had to move without him.
We'll come back to the subject whenever Coach get on. Last game I want to talk about, of course.
That game. The game. The game that can make my whole weekend.
Packers, 49ers against Green Bay, Justin.
Dang,
How can let me start off by being non-biased. What possible way can the 49ers actually steal this game from the Packers?
pound the ball like they always do.
Hey,
Just
can y'all hear me now?
yeah.
Hold on, Justin. Hold on,
All right,
Justin.
my
Y'all
bad,
can,
my
y'all
bad.
can. All right,
All right, Coach.
say
You
your
heard what I
things, bro.
said earlier, Coach.
No, as I said, they kept kicking me out. What was the question again?
You said LSU not the greatest team of all time. You said they
Right.
third. What's the two teams you have above them and why?
All right. First, I have the 2001 Miami Hurricanes. If you go look at that team and that roster, you'll see some shit that you have never seen before. You got Frank Gore, Najee Davenport, Clinton Portis all in the same backfield. They were so deep at running back that Willis McGahee, an all-pro in the NFL, had to move to fullback just to get on the field. The second greatest team I have is that 2004 USC squad when you had Justin Vargas, Reggie Bush, and
Matt
Lindell White
Liner.
all in the same backfield. Matt Liner, man, you Mike Williams. I mean, you had all pros all around that thing. You had linemen on both sides that went third, fourth round that were all pro guys. But LSU is number 3, and there's nothing wrong with that. My
Coach, I got a
thoughts on.
question for you.
Go ahead.
Would you think they would probably have a better case arguing about Joe Burrow being like his quarterback run instead of the LSU team? You think there'd probably be a better case for that?
Yeah, I always say that, and this is what I say about LSU fans, bro. They have such little success that when they finally get
Thanks,
success,
though.
they try to hold on to it so hard. We're the greatest. He had the greatest. Oh my! Hey, bro, if you go back the last 10 years, Joe Burrow didn't even have the 2 best quarterback seasons in the SEC. Did they forget about the guy named Tim Tebow that won national championships and Heisman trophies? Did they forget about this guy named Cameron Newton that in 18 months he was the JUCO Player of the Year, won a JUCO national championship, went to the SEC, was that National Player of the Year, won the Heisman, and won an undefeated national championship? Let's slow down a little bit. I understand you when you don't get a lot of success, and when you finally get it, you kind of cling on to it so much and say it's the greatest thing ever. But sometimes you got to pull your head out your ass and look around and say, "Well, man, the world is bigger than this little dumpster right here." But anyway,
No.
I had to throw it at you, baby. It's all love.
It's not the green
It's
coach
that
on this one,
BS.
man.
It's that BS I was talking with Alabama fans. Because
hey,
y'all
bro,
throw shade at us.
Whoa,
We better
whoa! What Alabama got to do with this?
Hey, bro,
Oh,
listen.
he
Everybody
a Bama fan.
always got to go
I'm a
at the
Bama
big
fan
dog.
too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and-
Everybody
and-
try to go at the big dogs.
and-
Everybody
and-
not
and-
Bama, baby. It's all right. Even though you
And
get
you
a
in
win
this
every
mess
now and
too.
then, you're
You
not
in this
Bama.
mess too.
Big dogs eat.
You're not
Little
Bama,
puppies
son.
cry on the porch, man. What
Here's
the
the
rock
thing.
say? Big dogs eat.
Here's the thing. If we trash and we got 3 chips, which more than everybody else besides y'all,
Mm-hmm.
everybody else has to be for it. Because we got 3. Since turning
I
to
feel you.
BCS, we got 3. Georgia
Okay.
been hyped up and barely got 1.
All right. And neither
That's
none of
the
y'all
only chance
us.
they had.
And look, none of
And
y'all
Jimbo
Bama.
Fisher
So,
been stealing money for the past 10, 15 years. He got 1.
hey, bro, you see what I talk about these LSU fans? They always want to be happy about second place. It's like saying, I'm the smartest kid with Down syndrome. Hey, bro, it don't matter. It don't matter. All right? But it's okay. It's okay. Now, going back to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is already a top 10 quarterback. It
Hey,
is
you
what
gotta
it
sense it. You gotta sense this man at this point.
Hey, listen, I'm sorry. You know, it just came to me. I'm sorry. Joe Burrow's already a top 10 quarterback.
Correct.
And I taught sped, so I love my sped, baby. Don't you dare. Joe Burrow's already a top 10 quarterback. He has proven that he can handle the NFL workload. I knew that he was going to be decent. I wasn't going to say he's an all-pro guy. I had my reservations about him, kind of like Caleb. I didn't think he was going to be a bum, but I figured he'd be a decent NFL starter. I didn't see this happening for him. But let's slow down talking about, he's a Hall of Fame already. You do know the Cincinnati Bengals had won a championship closer than the Kansas City Chiefs had won a Super Bowl. At least the Bengals have won one in the 80s. Kansas City hadn't won one since the 60s. So let's not put them on Patrick Mahomes' level just yet. I will say this, though. Being that he's from Ohio and he brings a chip to Cincinnati, he will actually have done better career-wise as far as like what LeBron set out to do. He doing that LeBron level. You know what I'm saying? He brought a chip to basically his city. You feel what I'm
He
saying?
didn't
Basically
leave.
to well, and he ain't had to leave it. You feel what I'm saying? And that's not a knock on Braun. I'm just saying like that's admirable that when you can bring a Super Bowl ring to, you know what I'm saying, a place where you from. Opelousas native Deborah Henderson did the same thing, won a Super Bowl with the New Orleans Saints, won a national championship with the LSU Tigers. That's an admirable thing where you can actually bring championships to where you from. That's major.
Hey,
Joe Burrow gets a Super Bowl ring. He's undeniable, a top 5 guy. Like you couldn't even say it because again, their defense is suspect. They have one of the most bottom third offensive line. He has a great receiving core and a good young back. You would have to give him love as far as that top 5 is concerned.
hey, I ain't even gonna hold you. If Joe Burrow win the Super Bowl, as a Cleveland Browns fan, you looking at your quarterback like, damn.
But I mean,
How should
you said,
AJ Green feel right now? How should AJ Green feel right now?
Like a
ooh,
doofus.
Man.
Joe.
Like
Hey,
a
AJ Green
doofus.
feels like Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. Maybe I should have shut the fuck up. Maybe I should let that man do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. What the fuck am I thinking? That's divorcing a billionaire. That's basically what that is.
You look like a doofus. You said, Arizona ain't won nothing. I'm gonna roll with them. I can see if he went to Green Bay. I ain't got no arguments. I can see if he went to New England. I ain't got no arguments. He can go to San Francisco. They consistently winning. And I love Kyler. But if I'm a stay in the place I know and get money, I stay in the place I don't know and get money. I'm gonna stay home.
I mean, we all thought Arizona was gonna make a good run. Their team was stacked. They was the favorites in
I
the beginning
didn't.
of the season.
I did not. I knew better. I knew
Yeah,
better.
All right, Lamar fan.
Hey,
injuries,
listen.
motherfucker.
Oh man, everybody go through them things.
Yep.
I mean, once we beat them, Caleb, like Caleb said earlier, once we beat them, I just seen it. I just
Hold
seen
on.
weakness in the
Oh
game.
Lord, the Packers beat you. You
D-Hop
got
wasn't on
8
the field
flaws.
though.
No,
Let's
no,
be
it
honest.
wasn't that we beat them. It was that we beat them without who didn't play.
Like 11
Lazard
starters.
didn't play.
But
Lazard didn't play. Valdez,
Valdez
Scan didn't
didn't
play.
play.
Adams didn't play.
Adams didn't play.
Tanya was lost for the season that game.
if AJ
Right.
Green brain was
Did,
on,
did
you
Aaron
wouldn't have won
Jones
the
play?
game.
Hey, I'm just gonna say this
And
on
who?
the
Jared
side
Goff.
note.
I said, did Aaron Jones play?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Aaron
Aaron
Jones
Jones.
and AJ didn't play. Yeah, both of them played.
That's the
Both
most
our running
important
backs
Aaron
played.
anyway. So,
On
as long as he's on
on
the
a side
field.
on a side note, fellas,
All right, Skip.
if you ever in Opelousas, make sure you get you some Mikey's donuts. They got crack in these bitches. I ain't lying to y'all.
It depends on if it's fresh, bro.
Man, these
Only if
bitches
it's fresh.
hot. The
Yeah.
bag was smoking when they gave that bitch to me, son. I ain't lying.
All right.
Moving.
I ain't lying.
All right, Justin, I'm gonna come back to you, Justin. Before Coach got back on, what do you think San Francisco has to do to steal this game from us?
Well, first of all, pray. I start off with prayer. Everybody need prayer in their life. Second of all, they need to hope Aaron Rodgers' toe inflames with COVID again. Third of all, they just hand the ball off, run the ball, play physical, shorten the game.
Get the ball to Deebo Samuels and pray. That's it.
Pretty much. Cut his possession down. Tell your boy that they need to figure out Fred Warner ankle. He should go. I don't know how healthy he is, but he should play. And avoid clear concussion protocols. So he'll go. Honestly, hope Aaron Rodgers is a little bit off, just a little bit, and shorten the possessions. Hand the ball off to Deebo Samuel, hand it off to that run game. Try and make those guys the Packers are bringing back play in the run game because a lot of them are coming back in the pass rush. So make Zadarius Smith, make the other ones coming back. Can't think of his name, but have those guys play in the run game and hope that your quarterback don't mess it up for you. That Jimmy G don't mess up, which is a hard ask.
He tried to give the game.
My
He tried to
question
get
is,
in Dallas.
I got a question though too. What do you think Aaron Rodgers' mental is right now? Because obviously he don't want to be with the Packers, and he is. We know Aaron Rodgers to be a petty guy. So do you think he really gonna go full throttle to get a bowl for the Packers, even though he know you want to leave? Maybe you want to just leave and just
He has to get a bowl for himself. Because if he gets the number 1 seed and flames out, then it's like, well, maybe that Jordan Love pick wasn't that terrible. Now if it's not his fault, now if he goes for 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, and the defense piss down their leg. Well, I mean, you can't blame Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
But if he goes out and stinks it, which is unlikely, but possible,
It's possible.
then it's kind of like that Jordan Love pick wasn't that terrible. Now, Jordan Love looked bad. Jesus. But, you know what I'm saying? It gives a little validation to the pick. Now, if the defense gives up 45 points, then you look like a doofus because you should have drafted a defensive player or anybody to help Aaron Rodgers. But, hey.
Hey, Justin Jaya, is he still questionable? Do you know? Last time
Who?
I checked, Jaya Alexander for the cornerback.
I can find out. I haven't gotten an update this morning, but I can find out.
All right, CA, I'm gonna come to you. What do San Francisco has to do to win this game?
First of all, Nick Bosa has to get to Aaron Rodgers, and they gotta be able to get to Aaron Rodgers first of all, first and foremost. You gotta do something to to conserve Devontae Adams. Another thing you gotta do, you gotta hope Debo can make those big plays again, and Elijah Mitchell has to have another good game, just like he did against the Cowboys for him to win, because Jimmy G is not gonna win your game, and right now you gotta be on what he's
He
been
should
on
be back
recently.
July.
And I mean, I think, and then maybe they can give him some, a little struggles, but I mean, I just don't think it's really a really good match, especially in those Lambeau conditions. It's gonna be tough for him, and I know that the Packers remember the last time they played the 49ers, and they're gonna come play today, man.
All right, Coach, I'm gonna come to you, Coach. What does San Francisco have to do to win this game?
I don't think there's anything San Francisco can do besides have a major win in the turnover battle to win this game. I looked at this every possible. I looked at this at every possible way. And unless Aaron Rodgers goes out there and has a very sloppy game, I'm talking about 2 or 3 picks, a couple of fumbles from the running backs. I don't see San Francisco being able to contend. I do not think the Packers are going to go in there and let them get comfortable running the football. They're going to make Jimmy G beat him throwing the football, and I think that is a great game plan to go against. And it's the exact opposite of what the Dallas Cowboys tried to do. I think they're going to load up on the run. I think they're going to do a lot of run blitzing on early downs to put them in 3rd and longs to make Jimmy G actually go out there and beat him. Secondly, we all know the actual worst part of the San Francisco. They are great up front. They have an outstanding front seven, but we know that their Achilles heel is the corners. And you're going against one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. You're going against an all-pro wide receiver. And Lazard, who I had on my fantasy team, who I cursed out the first 8 games, he's actually starting to come around. He's actually starting to show some potential. I think that this is my lock of the week. And I think this one actually could be over pretty soon. I think if they get the 49ers into some 3rd and longs off some early run blitzes and making Jimmy G have to throw down, and we know that sometimes he could be checked down Charlie, and they start giving Aaron Rodgers extra possessions early in the game, I think this one could be over with. Besides that, again, unless other than winning the turnover battle, and if somehow, some way they can establish the run game, they can make it. But again, I don't see it happening. And then the conditions won't be conducive for 3rd and down, 3rd and long, as far as the 49ers concerned. It's going to be feel like 4 degrees out there with a 15-mile-an-hour wind. The only reason why I know that is because I'm a degenerate gambler. So I look at all the conditions that's going on.
And probably snow.
And probably some snow. So if they get the 49ers into 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8, and they're going to ask Jimmy G to push the ball down the field, I think this is going to be light work for the Packers, setting up a Packers-Rams NFC Championship game, which is going to be must-see TV.
All right, SB, what do the 49ers have to do to win this game?
It's going to be through their defense, honestly. And you got to, if they get put in a situation where it's only way we winning is Jimmy G playing the quarterback position, you're going to lose. So I think it's going to be all through the 49ers defense. They got to make it hard for Aaron Rodgers, make it turn over the ball, limit possessions. And the 49ers got to, like, for the time possession of the game, they got to have the ball more than the Packers. If you give Aaron Rodgers too many chances, I don't care who you is, you're gonna die for it. And this ain't the NFC Championship game where he's bound to fold like a lawn chair or piss down his leg. So So that's the only way I can see it. It got to be the defense. The defense is gonna have to win the game.
Quick question. So, do y'all think in the last couple of years at the beginning of the games, most coaches tell their players, "Look, if we win the toss, give the other team the ball first so we could get at halftime." Do y'all think it would be smart for San Francisco to take the ball first to try to score first so they won't
If
be playing
I'm
Hell
behind?
yeah.
if I'm
Nah, I
playing
think
a
it'll
great
make a difference.
offense,
Hell yeah.
it,
It ain't gonna make a difference.
if I'm playing a great offense, I want the
It
ball.
won't.
It ain't
It
gonna make a
won't. It
difference
won't
at
make a
all.
difference at all. But maybe, hope, maybe if they can get the ball first, because again, I won't take anything from Kyle Shanahan. He's a great play caller. If he has 15 great plays that they've worked on, where he got a lot of motions going on, and they can put together a 7 minute drive, a sustained 7 minute drive. First off, he's trying to eat that first quarter up before they get the ball to Aaron Rodgers. Let him sit in the wind in that 4 degrees, whether it matters or not, and break their rhythm a little bit. That's the only chance that they have to keep this bitch close. So I would
Facts.
definitely ask for the ball first and call my
And it,
15 best plays.
and it is Aaron Rodgers, so he a little more motivated with San Francisco because he's been begging to go to San Francisco for the longest. So he might try to show out too. I forgot. I just thought about that now.
Yeah,
I mean, the
I,
last
I
time they
was
played for the
scrolling.
playoffs, they got smacked.
Yeah. 'Cause I ain't gonna lie.
So
If
yes,
Aaron Rodgers goes to the 49ers, if next year he actually go to so
it's a
I
wrap.
see it's a wrap.
All right, John Rich, what does the San Francisco 49ers have to do to win this game?
They gotta hope Aaron Rodgers' toe fall off. They gotta hope Matt LaFleur is drunk on the sideline. They gotta hope for a lot, man. But as far as Shanahan with his play calling, I know Coach kind of touched on it earlier, saying he believes Green Bay is gonna force Jimmy G to have to win the game, and I think it's going to come down to the 49ers doing what they do, and it just gotta work because if they allow Green Bay to alter their offensive game plan and put the game more in Jimmy G's hand, it ain't gonna work out for you. It hasn't worked out for you all year. I think I saw a stat something like they 6-0 when he don't throw a touchdown. So it's in your favor if Jimmy G don't play well.
Hey, that's fucked up.
That's crazy. That's a crazy stat.
Damn,
Do better when he
What,
don't throw a
that's
touchdown.
actually true.
that's
Yeah,
an
yeah,
Yeah,
six
Crazy.
and
indictment.
0, 6-0
That's
when he
crazy.
don't throw a touchdown.
Hmm.
I'm like, man, what that? Ain't never seen that. That's crazy. But but
Wow.
yeah, I think it's got to come down to can the 49ers just do what they do, and don't allow Green Bay to alter your game plan and make you have to play from behind and speed you up and stuff like that. Just they go on that so they keep that same formation. They'll go with different motions and all that. And I mean, you just have to hope that the approach that's worked for you all year works again. You gotta hope Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a elder out of this world game. I mean, he's gonna be Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna turn the ball over a lot. Um, you gonna have to hope the turnovers come from I don't know if Aaron Jones playing. Is he playing?
Yeah, he
Aaron Jones,
played.
Yeah,
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 he
yeah, yeah,
playing.
yeah, yeah. So I mean,
AJ Dillon gonna get most of the load though, because in cold games we get the ball to AJ Dillon way more.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. You gonna have to hold
Yeah,
Aaron
I
Jones.
don't know. Aaron Jones be tripping
Um,
sometimes, so,
but so I mean, yeah. So as far as winning the turnover battle, that's not a common thing that happens with teams against Green Bay. Really not gonna win that turnover battle. So it's just I mean, it's a long road for them to try to get this game. I think on the reverse, if they can neutralize Adams some and make Rodgers have to go to like the other
okay, good luck with
receivers
that.
who are not as greatest playmakers as he is. If they get in the red zone, they can't let Adams get those free releases. How he gets in the red zone a lot. Sometimes I'll be looking at it like, dog, like what y'all just not playing the slant at all, like y'all just chilling. Um, but but yeah, definitely, man. If they can do what they do and at least make it a game, that's the most they can hope for at this point. And I mean, be satisfied with it. I don't see any kind of approach that they reasonably can take and pull off some kind of win. And that's largely because of who their quarterback is. You know what I'm saying? He not gonna win the game for them. So it's out of this question. So I don't know. I don't know what they can do, man. If they've been saying they rosaries and Hail Marys all week, the Lord might bless them, maybe.
Caleb,
Yes, sir.
what do we have to do to make sure that we win this game?
Well, one of the
We
biggest things.
Here comes the bias.
No, seriously. One of the biggest things that Green Bay has to do. Well, two of the biggest things in my book. The first thing, you got to tackle. If you can't tackle, the 49ers going to be running all day long. We saw
I
this
like that.
like 2 years ago.
As a defensive coach, that made me happy.
Oh, like like we had just got Kenny Clark back and everything. We up there thinking that we about to go into San Francisco and all that stuff, and then the boys just busted straight up in the mouth. The boys rushed for damn near 400 fucking yards. Couldn't tackle, right? Then if that we cannot tackle Debo and Elijah Mitchell, shout out to UL. Like he will be doing his thug dizzle. Outside of that, special teams has got to be a big factor in our game. If that Corey Bojorquez is sucking punting the ball, we will be in trouble because last week the 49ers they like some of their drives they was on like short field and then they made Dallas feel it. You know, we have to be able to actually win special teams. Most importantly, Robbie Gold, like he should be spectacular today, although that it will be cold. But tackling and special teams is like two of the biggest things because like everybody knows that our special teams is like ranked like 30th or something like that. They are trash. They suck. You need to put some reliable people out there that can actually get the job done. Now, outside of that, of course, we need to control the ball, the clock, and everything. Take care of it. But like most importantly, like whenever that we have a driver going, like don't get too fancy or greedy, and like get away from like what was working. You have to keep on staying on like what was working and actually put up points, especially touchdowns. Field goals will not beat this 49ers team. You have to score touchdowns. If that we don't score them touchdowns, then like we may be having to rely on the defense, which has been very, very solid. Our defense turnover difference is a plus 13, which was third in the league this year. So we had the defense, we got the offense. Special teams are still kind of shaky, but I know for a fact that as long as that we can tackle and have a great special team showing, we should win this game today by 10.
All right, fellas. Before we go, I just want to go around the panel. Y'all could discuss anything that's going around in the sports world. Coach, I'm gonna start off with you. What you got?
Man, I'm gonna say it again, man. The fact that we have only one head black coach in the NFL is an atrocity. The fact that we have only two black general managers in the NFL is an atrocity. You're sending the message that we can execute the game plan, we can score touchdowns, but we're not smart enough to implement the game plan and acquire the talent. Hopefully, this cycle's done better. We got a guy in Houston that gets fired. That after 1 year, we have Brian Flores, who actually had won 8 of his last 9 games and gets fired as well. We're down to Mike Tomlin being the lone African American coach in the NFL, when the league that is 70% African American. Again, not to denigrate, they had a meme going around that Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay, and Shanahan
Kyle
were
Shanahan.
all on the 2000 and the Kyle Shanahan were all on the Washington Redskins coaching staff under Jay Gruden. All of those guys have gone on to be head coaches, with McVay being the youngest head coach in NFL history. Why is it that young African American coaches don't get that same opportunity to rise up in the ranks from being a coordinator 1 year and getting a head football coach, or being a position coach for 4 or 5 years, then working their way up to a coordinator? We have Eric Bieniemy, who's sitting with a Super Bowl championship. We have Byron Leftwich, who's sitting with a Super Bowl championship, and these guys are just getting interviews, not opportunities. They're just getting interviews so far. So that's my thing, man. The NFL has to do better with that, because right now the Rooney Rule is a freaking joke.
Gotcha. CA, you got anything about what's going on in the sports world right now?
Not really. I think Coach kind of hit it on the head right there.
All right, Justin, you got anything?
Not to be honest, not really. I'm just hyped that a lot of sports is happening right now. College basketball is doing good. I got the LSU hoodie on. We looking good right now. They're probably gonna lose today because we won't have XR days. That's gonna be rough. But yeah, man. Something I did notice though that I wasn't a huge fan of, and I would actually like y'all opinion on. So y'all know that Kim Mulkey's at LSU now, right? I don't know if y'all keep up with girls basketball. And Dawn Staley made a comment I didn't necessarily love, although I got her point.
Yeah.
When she was talking about how if Fargus would have got the same support Kim Mulkey would have got, she would have still been there.
Yeah.
Nikki Fargus won 9 games in her last year at LSU.
Yeah.
Kim Mulkey won 9 games out of her first 10.
Yeah.
Like, I get your point, and it sounds the same point Coach talking about with like the black coaches getting elevated, but like you gotta win too. Like girls basketball isn't something that's naturally supported. It's just not. And like I watch girls basketball, but that's because I actually good basketball. Like it's not something that's naturally supported. If you're gonna win 9 games at any school, pretty much, you not gonna get support like that.
Thanks.
So like I got her point as a scope, as a full scope and sequence. I just didn't get it in that scenario. Kim Mulkey's one of the 3 or 4 greatest girl coaches ever. Nikki Fargus had one big time job, lasted 4 or 5 years, probably 3 years longer than she should have been. She has a hell of a job now. She's the president of the Aces, but you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't get it with that, so I didn't love that comment from Don Staley.
Gotcha. Caleb, you got anything about what's going on in the sports world right now?
Well, as that everyone knows, which like a lot of y'all don't really care, but the baseball lockout, they are resuming talks Monday to actually get things back up and going. It's been what 3-4 weeks now since that.
It's been about over a month, bro.
Yeah, they had stopped all the talks and everything. You have a lot of prize free agents out there looking for teams and everything, and you can't get nothing done. And so a lot of these sports and everything, I get the revenues and everything, but it's you got to think about the players. Y'all got to try to find a common point and everything. Now, I forgot what actually broke it down, but hopefully they can get things back up and going, because I want to know what's about to happen. I think that my Seattle Mariners are about to turn their corner to actually be something good. And lastly, on that note of baseball, y'all were talking about Stafford earlier and everything. Now that we have the Hall of Fame voting system and everything. Everybody knows that is media driven votes and everything. Do y'all honestly think that this is the year that Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens gets into the Hall of Fame? A lot of people is saying no and everything.
Barry not seen that hall, unfortunately.
Right.
And what's crazy is Barry was a Hall of Famer before he even got anywhere near a steroid.
Hey man, there's no proof he went to a steroid. Leave my dog alone.
Right. I mean, look, man, Barry didn't do it. I don't care nobody say. But even with that stuff,
proof he took it. He said it was unknowingly.
Right. But you have other guys that is in there like Craig Biggio, Jeff Bagwell, all kind of other guys that was knowingly taking this shit and they are in the Hall of Fame. That's bullshit. But the media love those guys, which is why that they are in there. The media hates Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens because of the way how that they would conduct themselves in like certain like interviews and all kind of other things, whatever. So I'm looking forward to the lockout talks and everything. And most importantly, if that Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens are getting in there, because like just like Pete Rose and everything, like like he's a definite Hall of Famer. Like like he was a damn good player, one of the greatest hitters ever. I think that Barry Bonds is the greatest left-handed hitter ever. Like like I don't care what nobody say. Well, yeah, it's Barry and Griffey, and then the rest. I don't care. But what will happen this upcoming baseball season and the Hall of Fame season, I'm curious to actually see what's about to happen.
All right, John Rich, what you got? What's going on in the sports world?
In WNBA, I know a lot of people don't keep up with WNBA, but yesterday, I know I read a report yesterday. The Seattle Storm didn't they didn't give a forward designation to Brianna Stewart, which is basically kind of like a mix between the franchise tag and like team out in WNBA. So it made Brianna Stewart an unrestricted free agent. Brianna Stewart is probably a top 3 player in the WNBA, and Liberty have the cap to sign her. The Liberty already have Sabrina Escrew, who is probably a top 10 player, and they both
the triple double queen.
Yeah, so it's a lot of speculation that like Brianna Stewart might dip. She might go towards the Liberty, and
I think she's dipping, bro.
If she signs a long-term contract with the Liberty, bro, that's gonna be like Simone and Maya Moore playing together all again. They gonna dominate the WNBA. That's gonna be crazy.
And they might get a good big over there too. Stephanie Tolson.
Yeah. So I mean that's something I'm looking at, man. I love just the same thing as Justin said, man. I love watching women's basketball from like a schematic standpoint, man. You can see the coaches coaching against each other whenever it comes to women basketball. A little different than the NBA where it's more so
actual
players.
basketball.
Yeah, it's not
actual basketball.
Players.
Like,
yeah, I mean, because I can't put a KD out there. I can't put a Bron out there. You know what I'm saying? So
I can't put Bron there. You 6'9", 260, go dunk.
Right. You just don't have that, man. I mean, even the physically dominant players like Griner, I'm drawing a blank on no girl name.
Bring back Maya Moore.
Fine.
Maya
Moore is done.
Maya Moore got a basketball shape now.
She got a boy.
Maya Moore got happy. That's all I'm gonna say. Maya Moore got happy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Exactly. She got that old happy, well-fed weight on her now. She ain't tripping.
I'm about to say she happy. Last thing she worried about is the basketball.
She doing things that she feel is bigger than basketball too, which I really respect. You know what I'm saying? For you to walk away from the game, that was like Michael Jordan retiring after 3 feet. Like she was at
Maya was on top.
She was the best talent ever. Not the greatest player ever because she just had the resume, but talent-wise, the best talent ever. And she just said, "I'm dipping. I'm gonna get this dude out of jail." And it was like, "Wait, what?" We thought it was gonna be a 1-year thing. She was like, "Nah."
I thought it would be 1 year. Yeah, I thought it was
gonna
be 1
year.
Like,
"Nah, I'm good."
She was like, "Nah, I'm good on basketball. Period."
All right. If you think about it, they end up getting married after, it's like, "Oh, all right, it makes sense."
Yeah.
She probably making more money off the court than she is on the court.
Well, the thing about it, her Jordan contract, she was straight. So her Jordan contract was set up as long as she still had endorsement money. So yeah, she's straight.
Yeah, definitely. But I know that's something I'm definitely watching right now, man.
All right, SB, what you got? What's going on in the sports world?
The Chargers still suck. All right, continue.
I would go on the rant, but I'll probably save it for the basketball stream tomorrow. Everybody hating on my Bulls now, trying to call us frauds because we got hurt and we lost a couple games. We're not frauds. We're not doing it.
You're
Ain't you a Pelicans fan?
Yep.
Okay. All right. You've been fries for years, but that's different for you.
No, we're
But
not. We're not frauds. We know he sucked. We know he sucked.
They're in
We
the
know.
expansion franchise. They're not even real.
But I want to talk about just like the next generation of like players that's coming up. Like basketball, you kind of see it, but at least we don't know who's going to be the guy that's taking the next step to be the next great. But when it comes to football at the quarterback position, I could definitely say looking at Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. You see all these other young guys at this quarterback position
What
where
happened,
it's like, okay,
No. Because Caleb said something slick and tried to hide his hand after he threw the rock.
Yeah.
Let's say, man. Go ahead.
I heard it.
Say it with your chest, Caleb.
Maybe not Kyler.
Maybe not Kyler.
Maybe not Kyler. Maybe not. But I look at it as like, okay, when Tom Brady go, Rodgers go, we know Ben ain't. He got a nice resume, but Ben ain't go. But I'm saying when all these other great quarterbacks go, the league is gonna be in great hands, and it's gonna make me wonder who's gonna be the next guy. To me, it's gonna either be between
Allen's up there too.
Yeah, I put Josh Allen. It's gonna be between Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow to be the best quarterback in the league.
Hey, I know who it's not gonna be. It's not
Which
gonna be
one?
Jordan Love or Jared Goff. That's what's not gonna be.
It's definitely not. Definitely not.
Not gonna be
I
Jordan
know
Love.
potential ain't gonna be no Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you get off Mac Jones, all right?
Patriots fans play. He the next Brady.
At home.
Hey, whoa. If anybody's seen my opinions of Mac Jones, that's the furthest thing from the truth. I like him as a person. I like his name, kind of. McCorkle kind of throws me off from time to time, but hey, I let it live. I like his demeanor. He seems to be a cool guy. If I need my taxes done, I'm going straight to him. But let's not throw around the words next Tom Brady. All right, let's not just say those things all kind of crazy willy-nilly. Let's not say that. Yeah, let's not lose our minds here. Do I think he's better than other rookie quarterbacks? Like the one playing for the Jets. Why is he in the NFL? Absolutely.
I think he's just on the Jets.
Do I still want Justin
better
Fields?
as a talent
Absolutely.
than Mac Jones. I think Zach Wilson better as a talent than Mac Jones.
Zach Wilson completed more passes to the Patriots in the first half of their game. I don't want to hear it.
He on the Jets, man.
And he threw the ball to us.
That man got some decent receivers. That man got the
best receivers on the team, and their names is J.C. Jackson, McCourty, Jalen Mills.
Hey man, we got any Celtics fans on the panel? I don't think so. Any Celtics?
Who hates themselves that much to be a Celtics fan? Who hates?
I know a couple.
Who woke up in the morning and was like,
Hey, that's what my
a dude ain't true to King. He hates himself enough to be a Celtics fan.
And he a Patriot fan too. Y'all flock together the same.
I was gonna talk about Russell Westbrook and the Lakers for my thing that's going on in sports.
I like Russell Westbrooks. I want to be as confident as him one day. I want to still know I can't shoot and keep shooting. Like that's the level of confidence I want.
We might as well talk about the Pelicans. We'll talk about the Lakers, a team with a bunch of just players on that losing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
might as well talk about the Pelicans. It's about the same.
See you. I want to see you about middle of April, late April. After y'all get blew out in the first round, that's what I want to come see.
Hey man,
your team, you wouldn't know about that. Your team gonna be at the crib.
We're not gonna be there.
But
we're not gonna be there. All right, because
don't even
game
put
on
them
for
two
Duke.
people
I'm trying
in
to
the
watch our
same
next top
sentence.
draft.
Pelicans and Lakers don't go together.
Yeah, you're right. That was a little too unfair. That was like y'all in that Sacramento Kings realm.
Right. We are the Sacramento Kings.
Back in the line.
We are bad, right? The Lakers are 21-22. We 15-25.
Hey,
we ain't that far off.
Hey, listen.
They got
at least as Lakers fans, we can think back to the glory days of we won a championship 2 years ago. What the hell kind of glory days do y'all have? What can y'all
Chris
think
Paul,
about?
Chris Paul, that's it. Chris Paul,
2009,
the almost Chris Paul,
2009.
And
Chris Paul almost got us
that,
to the Western Conference Finals.
And before that, you
drafting Zion.
Looking back on that,
Pistol Pete Maravich.
And you know who took Chris Paul out the playoffs one year when he was playing for the New Orleans Hornets, Pelicans?
Was it the Lakers?
No, it was the Nuggets with Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, yeah, Carmelo Anthony. That all-time winner. God, Carmelo Anthony. I forgot.
He beat you guys.
Like 7 championships. Oh, man. Carmelo Anthony. great all-time winner. He ain't won nothing since Syracuse in 02. But yeah, no, great all-time winner, Carmelo Anthony. He's conducive to winning. Good job for him.
I mean, are you from New Orleans or something? That's why you a fan of him?
No,
Why?
I'm in Louisiana though.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, you're close there. Okay.
Damn, I'm in Louisiana.
I mean, I like Braun too, so you know, I like.
Would not suffer. You said I would not suffer.
I would not suffer all year.
When I moved to Louisiana when I was young, man, the Saints was
our
trash.
education dead lag. I ain't that
It's all good though. Because there's people fans in here that's the Lions. There's Lions fans in here. So I mean that ain't great.
No issue with that, bro.
That's worse. That's worse than anything being a Lions.
That's worse than anything. Lions fans.
Yeah.
Well,
Where'd
hold
July
on,
went?
hold on.
How July left his own
He's actually
podcast?
one above. The worst thing to be is a Browns fan. There's no reason to be a Browns fan.
I can't say that because the Browns got talent. They just don't get the job done.
Here's the thing with the Browns, though. The Browns ain't even named after a real thing. The Browns are named after a person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you're a Browns fan, like I really worry about your mental health.
Named after a person and made the mascot a fucking bulldog.
Yeah, like,
let's keep it real. The Browns knew what they was doing. They named themselves after shit because that's what they are. It would be too offensive to be called the Cleveland Shits, so they call themselves the Cleveland Browns. Let's be real.
I mean, let's talk about the Chargers. Let's talk about the Chargers for a second.
Go ahead, talk about the Chargers.
These people were so bad that Eli Manning said, "I'll play anywhere else."
And that's fine. We was good without it.
Hey, that was crazy.
We was good without it. We got Phillip Rivers, we had LaDainian Thompson, we had Antonio Gates,
And a slew of first round
Marty. We had a great team.
And a very beautiful second round exit every year. You were scheduled to be out the playoffs by January 10th every season.
No, it was just that we couldn't get past the Patriots. That's it. We couldn't get past the Patriots. Anybody else, we was beating everybody. We just couldn't beat the Patriots.
I mean, the Patriots ain't win the Super Bowl every year, so somebody was stopping them.
But when they beat us every year, that's it. That's all purpose in the way. I respect Tom Brady to go, but I do not fuck with the Patriots.
That's okay. Hey man, that's all right.
Hey, is it time to split up Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, man?
No.
Way too young.
Yeah.
I mean, you know about 2 years getting wasted with you being
do
a trailblazer.
do not do what
Hey, hold on.
with Dame and CJ.
Probably sitting there writing on the wall.
My Blazers just went to Boston last night and beat Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So
Every
Without
dog
Dame
have his
and
age, 82 game season.
Here's the thing,
I'm saying,
Being clock right twice.
Nah, I don't. Man,
I've been
what's the
saying
age
that
limit?
one.
What's the age limit? Like for not splitting them up, like we gonna
No,
keep
bro, they
this
gotta
every
split,
year.
bro. Boston
one or
hates
two more years.
They 23 and 24 years old, dog.
right, and we were saying the
What
same
that
thing
mean?
about
Damn.
CJ and Dame. We were saying the same thing about CJ and Dame. They so
Y'all
young.
waited too
Hey,
late.
bro.
Dame and CJ was
Hey,
drafted
bro, at some
22.
point you gotta be
They
smart.
They were drafted at 22, so we talking about in their second year together. Dame and CJ got to be split. You know what I'm saying?
No, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. Ben Simmons and Embiid
They
played.
don't have a point
Ben
guard.
Simmons and
They
Embiid
big
played
as
one season
Al
together.
Horford, who can barely walk. I don't know. I don't even know who the other starter is. I mean, they just
Schroeder?
Yeah, no. After Schroeder and Horford, I don't
Smart,
know.
Don't Smart start?
Marcus Smart.
Smart.
Right
Yeah.
now,
So I mean, you don't have a point. That they need a point guard, so those two are not just taking turns ISO ball. That's their main problem.
Hey, you know,
Right now,
they
they
amazing way to get a point
Hey, bro,
guard.
they've been saying that for
not
5
gonna
years
like
now, bro. They've been saying
But you
that
do
for
got
them.
Tremont
5 years.
Waters
They need a point
and
guard.
Carson Edwards.
And 5 years ago, they were
At
19 years
some
old.
point,
That's
you
what
gotta
I'm
cut
saying. You're not.
They need to start playing
supposed
Tremont
be
Waters
19
more.
years
I
old.
don't know about Carson Edwards.
And
They
it
need to start playing
still
Tremont
hasn't
Waters.
worked.
Man, I fuck with Carson Edwards.
I like Carson Edwards.
Not
too.
Tremont Waters.
This is
He got
this
shot.
is what I'm
They're not on the
saying.
team no more.
You're gonna paint yourself into the same CJ and Dame Dollar predicament. Because at the end, the longer you wait, the more you're gonna have to max somebody out. Why not move one of your young guns? Keep Tatum. I'm a big Tatum fan. Why
I
not
keep
move
going for Tatum.
Brown and go ahead and get you a slew of draft picks and another All-Star? You're gonna
And
continue to
then
say,
be
"Oh, they're
rebuilding
too
for
young
another
to
8 years
separate
and
them."
not winning for another 8
Why you
years.
got to rebuild if you already have a superstar?
Shit,
You
they
can
rebuilding
have a
right
superstar
now.
on your team. Why would
here's
you
the
do
We
thing,
that?
building right now.
Here's the
Build
thing,
around
the
both your
Boston.
superstars. You
Here's
got
the thing,
two
the
Right,
Boston
I
Celtics.
But you're building
superstar.
around
The
two
Boston
people
Celtics
that play the
have
same
Tatum and
position.
Brown.
They
They have
don't
Tatum
play
Brown.
the
He's an
same
8
position.
They're the same player.
They pretty much they pretty much
Just
the same
because you
thing.
put a different letter by their name,
I
just because you put a
just
different letter
don't
by their
believe
name
that.
doesn't
Bro,
make them
split that
different
up.
people.
Like to me,
up,
basketball is the easiest thing to realize it ain't gonna work. Like,
I mean, it's
Embiid and Ben Simmons, we saw that
crazy
40 games in, split that up. That ain't gonna work.
It's crazy to say that because what if Mark Cuban would have split up Dirk and Jason Terry? He wouldn't have a ring. What if the Lakers?
But they don't play the same position.
He
split up Dirk.
He split up Dirk and Steve Nash.
He split up Dirk and Nash, and then look how long it took after that for that to even. I mean, we gonna wait another 6 years.
I mean, what team in the East is stopping the Celtics right now? Because we could say that the Lakers, we had the Lakers in the West and we had the Spurs in the West. What team in the East is stopping the Celtics right now?
The Brooklyn Covids.
I mean, all before you had Bron beating them every year. Bron left.
Bron beat them 1 year.
Chicago, some fakers. I don't worry about them.
Like,
stop hating. Stop the cap.
But I mean, you got the Bucs in the East right now.
But the Charlotte Hornets have a better record though.
In the East right now.
That was my point, Justin. That was my point.
LaMelo Ball and Gordon Hayward has a better record right now.
The Boston Celtics are the 10th seed in the East.
A lot of teams in the East.
They're the 10th?
Yes.
It's weird. It's a weird year for a lot of people.
Ain't a weird year. It's called you trash.
The Washington Wizards have a better record than the Boston Celtics right now.
Kyle Kuzma and Bradley Beal have a better record right now than Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Their team is trash, though. It's not.
I don't believe you.
Hey, if the team is trash, it's not because of
I believe you break up the people around them. And
Terrence Mann and Zubac have a better record than Jason Tatum.
If they're not the problem, then that means they're not the answer.
They're not the solution either.
To move one to fix the greater problem. Hey, bro, I'm coming from I'm a Laker fan. It was a hard decision to split Shaq and Kobe up.
Contract is ridiculous.
They split Shaq and Kobe up, and it ended up working out. I'm pretty sure you could build around one of those around Jason Tatum. I'm a big proponent of keeping Jason Tatum and moving Jaylen Brown around.
He's playing worse than Jaylen Brown.
Huh?
Jason Tatum is playing worse than Jaylen Brown right now.
I'm just saying. I said I'm a Jason Tatum fan. That's all I'm saying. I don't care which one of they move. That's just like Portland Trailblazers. I don't care which one of y'all move, CJ or Dame, but you need to move one of them. Because again, you're going to end up in that situation where you keep telling yourself, "Oh, they're still young. They're still young." And then 4 years later, when they're 26 and 27, you're still saying, now you find Portland finally come to the realization, okay, we need to move one of them. You've wasted 4 years of both of their careers coming up with flameouts because they're missing a piece, or they again, like I say, they play the same position. They're the same guy. So why not move one to get better ancillary pieces?
The problem with the Celtics is that they be making Jaylen Brown is not an ISO player. That's not what he does. But because the Celtics don't have a setup person, he's forced to do that because Jason Tatum can't do it every play. Jason Tatum is an ISO player. That's what he does.
Right.
They have no setup players. So now your next best player is forced to do the same thing that Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown didn't start playing that ISO ball until
at some point that excuse gonna run out at some point, man. They don't have a point guard. They can't do this. They're making them players where at some point that excuse is gonna run out, and you're gonna be left with maybe we need to get a point guard.
Man. So a lot of hoops talk for a football podcast.
You're right. That's about another thing.
I mean, I didn't need to separate though. Honestly, I agree.
All right,
how long you gonna wait though?
We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. About to go cook this pot roast. Get ready for these games, man.
Watch Aaron Rodgers get cooked. You know,
cook that ale roast.
Smoking that Rodgers pack.
The ale roast cooking it up.
Smoking that Rodgers pack, boy.
I got that.
Hey, Debo, I need you to have the game of your life, Debo. Trent Williams, keep pancaking, do Trent Williams.
Hey, and when the Packers lose, send a picture of that ale roast to the group chat.
Please send a picture of it.
Yeah, bro. Hey, I dig myself a big hole so big in the group. If we lose,
boy, if you lose, you might well lead them.
We not
dark 30.
Life and death is in the power of the tongue. The Packers is about to beat the damn 49ers by 10.
And all right, Caleb, You better smoke that arrow roast too.
Hey, Caleb, man, you better protect yourself if you're gonna lose, boy.
1, 2,
You better be ready to
3,
protect
4,
yourself.
5, 6, 7, 8,
Caleb,
9.
if you lose, they got several people already told me they got the memes ready.
You must. Hey, you
Oh,
must.
I already know. I already know.
Just delete that.
But guess what?
Dangerous.
But
Delete
look,
the Facebook
what
app.
separates me from them
Hold down on
is
that
this.
button and hit the X.
I can talk it and I can back it up. Them boys can't they can talk it, but they can't take it. I can take it. Troll me all day long. I'm still gonna be here.
Pause.
Pause. Pause.
Big pause.
Stop.
Big
Okay.
pause.
Stop. We done passed the pause.
Unplug.
Stop.
Unplug.
I let the first one slide. I couldn't. I was like, all right. You got too much
down on
it.
it. I can take it.
All right, bro. Let's go ahead and get up out of here, man. Let's go.
Go pack, go. Yeah. We home.
Oh man.
Y'all didn't pick the Packers game.
Up, bear down.
Oh, that's right. Hold on, that's right. We never actually picked the game. We got sidetracked on the Boston trash. We never picked the game.
Who you got, coach?
I'm going around with the Packers and the spread 5.5.
5.5. Oof.
Who you got, CA?
They gonna cover that.
I had the Packers, unfortunately. Yes, I had the Packers. It's not a good matchup for 49ers. Simple as that.
Who you got, Jared?
I got the Packers by however much they want to be by.
Probably 20 piece.
Yeah.
Who you got, SB?
Go Pack, go with Aaron Rodgers. The bad man. The bad man.
Who you got, SB? You got the Packers?
Yeah, Packers. Yeah.
Who you got, Justin?
And as a person who's trying to break his way into the media a little bit, I root for interesting. So interesting. What do you mean the 49ers will win? Interesting gives a whole nother extra week of Aaron Rodgers and go to Denver talk and just torture Caleb in July, which is good for my soul.
I don't want to go to Denver either. Fuck that.
And because I'm rooting for interesting, I'm going to go with the 49ers here. That's interesting. Aaron Rodgers winning that's not interesting. I mean, who cares about Garoppolo leaving San Fran?
I'm trying to get into the media too. You don't gotta get no Stephen A takes to get in the media. We gotta be the new media. We gotta take over with good takes. So
I'm rooting for interesting. I don't care who wins. I care about interesting. So
Hey, they got a bunch of Saints fans in the group, and this why Saints fans are after me this week because I made this post in the group. Let me see if I can play it. Let's see. Hold on.
No, pause the video. Let's not forget that Drew Brees passed the ball and skipped the ball with his noodle on there.
Hello, that should just put "Hello, darkness, my old friend." It's a little sad music playing.
I made that post because they thought they was gonna get in the playoffs if the Rams would have beat the 49ers. The 49ers came back and beat them. So yeah, they gonna be after me this week if we
The Rams lost on purpose.
I don't know why the Saints want to make it just to lose in the first round. I don't be understanding.
That's what I'm saying about the Bulls, bro.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap right now. So you said the Bulls ain't making it out. The Bulls not making it out the first round.
I don't know. If they play the Celtics, they're gonna make it. They play the Celtics. That's easy.
You play anybody.
I give y'all second round exit out. I give y'all second round and out.
Who we gonna beat us? You said the Nets gonna beat us at the Bucs?
The Nets, the
Either
Bucs.
Hell
Yeah. That's true. Either one.
Yeah.
I think we can beat both teams.
And you know,
Hey,
if the
Shaquille
16 trade
O'Neal
But damn, some other Bucks.
Shaquille O'Neal told Russell Westbrook that he was playing too fast. He told him that at the game.
He did.
He does. That's his main problem.
And Russell Westbrook proceeded to play fast into about 3 turnovers. like almost
got-
consecutively. It
Russ
was
don't know
insane.
when to turn it on and off. He just
He
like
don't
just
have
because
an
you got
off.
a Ferrari, don't drive at 200 miles per hour every
Yeah.
time.
Just go.
Like
He-
I was
Straight up.
saying, he never
He
controlled
200 mile an hour out the
He never
parking lot.
control the game. He just played.
He just
You know,
played.
Westbrook should
He never
Westbrook
controlled
should have
it.
played free safety.
That man
Hey,
should
yeah,
have
knock
played
somebody
in the box safety. He should have played in the
should've
box
played
safety. Just to pick
Yeah, he
it
should
up.
play.
He could have been a real honey badger.
Real talk.
Oh, yeah, take
He
somebody
went
head off running full speed. You right though.
All right,
You right.
all right, Caleb, go ahead and pick the game, man. Go ahead and pick your
Right.
bias of hands.
You already know it's not even biased. Packers by 10.
It's not
like
biased.
all day.
It ain't biased. All right,
You know, it's
all
not
right,
biased.
all
100%
right,
biased.
all right. July in your Green Bay Aaron Rodgers jersey. Hopefully, the last time you ever put it on.
You have
You
a
go ahead and pick the
49ers
game,
Aaron
man.
Rodgers jersey next.
It's gonna be a throwback next year.
I told you, if Aaron Rodgers leave, I'm getting me a Jordan Love jersey, man. If
That
Aaron
is
Rodgers-
fandom I have not.
So you a Packers? You a real Packers fan?
Oh yeah. I told when I first moved to Louisiana in the mid '90s, the Saints was ass, man. Like,
And
yeah.
Saints fan.
Like I went into I would go into Walmart. They had more like what you heard
Cowboys
what
and
Lil Wayne
49ers.
said. What Lil
Cowboys,
Wayne said about Louisiana being Cowboys and Niners fans is real. That was real.
They even had some Steelers stuff.
My dad is a Steelers fan. Oh yeah, if you was around in the 70s, you was a Steelers fan.
Oh
I
yeah.
wasn't,
Oh yeah.
I wasn't born yet.
First.
I was born in '87. I wasn't born.
But Wayne like the Packers.
Hey, man, you old,
Rodgers.
July. Jesus. I was born 10 years later, July. Golly, you old.
Yeah, I was born in '87, man.
Shit, yeah, I was 10 years later. Man.
All right, fellas, man. Hey, thanks for everybody coming on the podcast, man. Y'all all have a blessed one. Y'all all enjoy the games, man.
Salute.
Niners up, man.
Have a good one,
Balled
fellas. Have a
up,
good one.
bear down. Balled up, bear down, man.
All right, man. Have a blessed one, man.
All right, y'all.
I'm brother.
See y'all.